Is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Prime Minister Davis saying our reputation has been unfairly tarnished, though he's saying our relationship with the U.S. over this indictment is intact. And Boleg, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, that is, confident that Junkanoo parades will happen. Later on in our show, we're talking about pickleball. And if you're interested in a business school, we got a business school coming on to talk about what it is they have on offer. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Chester Robards. You'll be my guest today, my co-host for the day. You do a good job. Also this morning, in Morning Blend Business, we've got our friends from Bristol Wines and Spirits. They're here early this month. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. And in the overnight, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis said yesterday that a recent U.S. indictment, which alleges corruption in the country's police and defense forces and among government officials, is, quote, unfairly tarnishing the Bahamas. He said, quote, I did call the charge d'affaires. I did call the charge d'affaires in to speak to her about these things, and she explained that she didn't know about it herself, but she said it has nothing to do with our relationship. I had the Minister of Foreign Affairs speak to the State Department to tell them what my views are on what they did, and they said it had nothing to do with our relationship. I'm not going to allow this little country where I am leading to be tarnished unfairly. And the government's deficit increased by more than $120 million in the July to September 2024 period when compared to the same time frame last year, according to the Budgetary Performance Report released by the Ministry of Finance yesterday. The government reported a deficit of $185.4 million in the first quarter of the 2024-2025 fiscal year, compared to $61.5 million in the prior fiscal year. The report said this outcome was a consequence of an increase in total expenditure by $142.6 million to $867.7 million. According to the data, recurrent spending was higher by $83.5 million at $743.9 million, with the bulk associated with compensation outlays, payments of goods and services, and public debt interest. Well, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg said yesterday he is confident the Junkanoo parades will take place despite recent confusion over whether both groups claiming to be the Valley Boys should be allowed to participate in the A Division. Boleg's comments come after the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence earlier last week threatened to postpone the parades over what it said is unprecedented political interference. But Boleg said while discussions are ongoing to determine the way forward, he does not believe the parades will be canceled or postponed. And for Atlantis, 2024 numbers fall short of last year's, with the Paradise Island Resort's occupancy numbers in the low 80s heading into the holiday season. Atlantis President and Managing Director Audrey Oswald said yesterday the 2024 numbers fell short of last year's. She said while 2024 was, quote, a good year, it was not as strong as 2023. We're anticipating that 2025 will be more like 2024, Oswald said. She said, quote, we're hoping that we can get, tourism back to where it needs to be for the country. We're a little above 80% right now going into Christmas and New Year's. We expect to be closer to 100%. And a former CID detective accused of molesting his 11-year-old daughter was on Tuesday unanimously acquitted after a trial before Justice Gregory Hilton. The 53-year-old electrician, who cannot be named, was accused of molesting his daughter at their home on March 2021. In March 2021, during the COVID-19 pandemic, prosecutors alleged that on the night of March 12th, the man forced his 11-year-old daughter to perform oral sex on him and then had sex with her on the bathroom floor of their New Providence home. The daughter said that her father told her not to tell her mother. The mother said she saw her daughter crying the following morning. When asked what was the matter, the girl said her dad had molested her. The incident was reported to police, and a physical examination revealed trauma to the child's genitals, and her hymen was not intact. Months after her father was charged, the girl and mother went to the prosecutor's office to make a withdrawal statement. In the statement, the girl said that she had lied about her father having sex with her. During the testimony, the girl said that she had recanted because she wanted to blackmail her dad so her parents would get back together. Let's look at international news now. An Israeli strike on Gaza has killed at least 29 Palestinians, according to medics. Israeli strikes pounded the Gaza Strip overnight and into Wednesday, hitting a home where displaced people were sheltering in the isolated north and a built-up refugee camp. At least 29 people were killed, according to Palestinian health officials. The Israel-Hamas war has raged on with no end in sight, even after Israel reached a ceasefire with Lebanon's Hezbollah, and attention shifted to the overthrow of Syrian President Bashar Assad. Both the outgoing and incoming U.S. administrations have said they hope to end the war before the inauguration, but months of ceasefire talks have repeatedly stalled. The strike on the home killed 19 people in the northern town of Beit Lahaya, near the border with Israel, according to the nearby Kamal Adwan Hospital, which received the bodies. Hospital records showed that a family of 8 was among those killed, including 4 children, their parents, and 2 grandparents. And President Joe Biden has approved a new national security memorandum that is meant to serve as a roadmap for the incoming Trump administration as it looks to counter growing cooperation among China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia, the White House said Wednesday. Biden administration officials began developing the guidance this summer. It was shaped to be a document that could help the next administration build its approach from day one on how it will go about dealing with the tightening relationship between the United States' most prominent adversaries and competitors, according to 2 senior administration officials. The officials who spoke on condition of anonymity under ground rules set by the White House said the classified memorandum would not be made public because of the sensitivity of some of its findings. Let's turn our attention to sports now. And in sports, in a remarkable display of cricketing prowess, Team Bahamas has emerged as a dominant force in the International Cricket Council's men's T20 World Cup Sub-Regional Americas qualifier held in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The team's stellar performance has put them atop the leaderboard with a perfect 3-0 win-loss record so far. In their opening match, they convincingly beat Brazil by 26 runs with a final score of 89-63. They then went on to defeat Argentina by 18 runs, winning 119-101. Their third victory came against Belize, where they secured a narrow 117-114 win, with Kervon Hines named the player of the match. Speaking on the team's success, coach Andy Moles expressed his delight, saying, "A lot of people thought we wouldn't have been able to accomplish this, but the team has worked really well, and they have applied themselves with good skills and showed up well in pressure situations." And in the display of equestrian prowess, the 2024 Caribbean Equestrian Association Dressage Challenge recently took place in New Providence, the Bahamas. The event, held at the Mariposa Stables, featured riders from across the region gathering to showcase their skills in the ultimate expression of horse training and elegance. The CEA Dressage Challenge is an initiative aimed at promoting the discipline of dressage throughout the Caribbean, serving as a complementary and preparatory event to the International Federation for Equestrian Sports Dressage World Challenge, by enabling riders to compete against each other at various levels of technical difficulty without the logistical challenge of traveling overseas. The competition format has become a highly anticipated event on the Bahamas' equestrian calendar. And a couple of veteran distance runners from the Bahamas Roadmasters Running Club, Michael Cunningham and Tony Longley, participated in the Reggae Half Marathon in Negril, Jamaica on Sunday. Cunningham placed first in his age category and Longley was fifth in his age category. The relatively flat 13.1-mile race course took runners along the serene coastline of the Norman Manley Boulevard. The weather was cool and breezy for the 5:15 a.m. start, but took a turn to hot and humid during the latter half of the race. In sports overseas, if you're into baseball, left-hander Max Fried agrees to a $218 million 8-year contract with the Yankees. The New York Yankees hope Max Fried pitches like he did in 2021 when he won the World Series clincher for the Atlanta Braves. 2 days after the Yankees lost Juan Soto to the rival Mets, Fried agreed Tuesday to join the Pinstripes with a $218 million 8-year contract. A person familiar with the negotiations told the Associated Press. Fried's deal is the largest for a left-handed pitcher in baseball history. $1 million more than David Price's 7-year contract with the Boston Red Sox ahead of the 2016 season. Fried's agreement, first reported by ESPN, was subject to a successful physical. The person said on condition of anonymity because the deal had not been finalized. Yankees fans were angry after Soto accepted the Mets' $765 million 15-year offer over the Yankees' $760 million 16-year proposal. The Yankees then redirected money to starting pitching, though Fried represents some risk. The two-time All-Star has been on the injured list some 10 times since 2018, including at least once each season. And FIFA preparing to give Saudi Arabia its biggest sports win yet as hosts of the 2034 World Cup. Saudi Arabia will be confirmed by FIFA as the host of the Men's Soccer 2034 World Cup on Wednesday, giving the oil-rich kingdom its biggest prize yet from massive spending on global sports, driven by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The decision completes a mostly opaque 15-month bid process, which FIFA President Gianni Infantino helped steer towards Saudi Arabia without a rival candidate, without taking questions, and which human rights groups warn will put the lives of migrant workers at risk. FIFA and Saudi officials say hosting the 2034 tournament can accelerate change, including more freedoms and rights for women. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. And your forecast for today. A small craft advisory will come into effect for the northern Bahamas tonight. Your general situation, a ridge of high pressure extending across the Bahamas, will produce stable and warm conditions over the majority of the archipelago before a cold front brings some showers and deteriorating marine conditions into the northern and northwest Bahamas late tonight into early Thursday. A cold front is expected to move through the remainder of the Bahamas on Thursday, followed by strong winds and hazardous marine conditions from a building high-pressure ridge that will last through the weekend. There will be an elevated risk of rip currents, mainly along northern and eastern shorelines in the central and southeast Bahamas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy and warm at first, turning mostly cloudy and windy at night. 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms at night. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, becoming west to northwest at 20 to 30 knots. Your high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10 to 20% chance of rain for you. Winds southeast to southeast to southwest at 10 to 15 knots at first, but becoming east to southeast at 10 knots or less. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70. And for the central Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10% chance of showers for you. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, decreasing to 10 knots or less by early afternoon. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night, a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds easterly at 15 to 25 knots at first, but decreasing to 10 to 15 knots by early afternoon. Your high temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 77. We'll have an extended outlook for you later on in the show. But when we come back, we're discussing some of the day's top stories. That's when Morning Blend continues here on Guardian Radio 96.9, home of fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store, has the perfect gifts just for you. Now until December 24th, you can get 5 to 50% off everything in store, plus 20% off Christmas lights, 25% off artificial Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and all toys. Standard Services, just around the block with everything in stock. They have everything you need to keep everyone happy this Christmas season. Get the perfect gifts, plus 5 to 50% off everything at Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store. Open Sunday, December 22nd. Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store, has the perfect gifts just for you. Now until December 24th, you can get 5 to 50% off everything in store, plus 20% off Christmas lights, 25% off artificial Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and all toys. Standard Services, just around the block with everything in stock. They have everything you need to keep everyone happy this Christmas season. Get the perfect gifts, plus 5 to 50% off everything at Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store. Open Sunday, December 22nd.
This Christmas, Fidelity Bank is still the one. With one easy monthly payment, one fantastic way to save, and one chance to win $5,000 in extra cash. Make that move to Fidelity Bank and apply for a personal loan for a chance to win extra cash today. Call 356-7764 for more details.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, life-saving innovations happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Get ready for a magical Christmas movie marathon at the Nassau Cruiseport Amphitheater on Saturday, December the 20th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bring your blankets and chairs and enjoy a night of nostalgic holiday classics with sweet treats and fun under the stars. Tickets are $10 for ages 13 and up, $5 for children 4 to 12, and free for little ones 3 and under. Purchase tickets at the door. Cash and card accepted. Don't miss the holiday fun at Nassau Cruiseport, the place to be.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. And on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969 or BTC Flow, Channel 612. We're all over social media. You can go and join our conversation today. You can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. That's 422-GR96, 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. You can call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can call us toll-free from the Family Islands, 242-300-5720. Also coming up, more weather and traffic, and we have business news coming up in Morning Blend Business at 9 a.m. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, the Prime Minister is reaffirming that we still cool with the U.S., but saying that our reputation has been unfairly tarnished. He used the word unfairly. Someone asked the question yesterday, I see the Tribune's headline. The Prime Minister says the U.S. hasn't given the corrupt officials ID as yet. And they start off saying Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis appeared frustrated yesterday by U.S. officials' failure to identify an unnamed high-ranking Bahamian politician. Right, okay. So, let's see if we can unpack some of this stuff today. Prime Minister Davis, the Tribune is saying, seems frustrated. And so Davis is saying the country's reputation is being unfairly tarnished. Unfairly tarnished. You can help me out today. Have we been unfairly tarnished? What does that even mean? I'm not sure. Let's read some more of the story in the Nassau Guardian today. Listen to his comments. He says, quote, I did call the U.S. Charge d'Affaires in to speak to her about these things, and she explained that she didn't know about it herself, but it has nothing to do with our relationship. Okay, fine. He said, I had the Minister of Foreign Affairs speak to the State Department to tell them what my views are on what they did, and they said it had nothing to do with our relationship. Okay. I'm not going to allow this little country where I'm leading to be tarnished unfairly. Okay. Sometimes I get even more confused when I hear what some people have to say. Davis goes on to say, I spoke to U.S. authorities and I asked them what is happening. From my experience, nothing can leave from the south to go to the north without the north knowing. I'm sure that's not how smuggling works. They have the resources, they have the intelligence, they have everything. So I want to know what is happening. They gave me a diplomatic note, and so they didn't tell me. I didn't know. From all accounts, this started in May, before May 2021, he said. So you have to be careful when you try and say, well, it's PLP or F&M, because they don't see us. When they are looking in the Bahamas, they don't see PLP or F&M. They see that little black country over there. That's what they're seeing. Okay. Deep breath. I feel like the minute that we found out that the investigation started in 2021, there was political poking on both sides. So what's the point of saying now that don't make it political? Number one. Number two, how is it unfair? What's unfair about the reports that are out there? Either tons of cocaine are being smuggled through our country, and it's a big problem, or it's not. I mean, you got police officers and Defense Force officers involved. That looks terrible. What's unfair about the assessment of what the country looks like when this kind of stuff is happening? We've got a murder rate out of control, and we find out that it's not just drugs that police and Defense Force officers are allegedly helping to move through the country or into the country as well, but it's guns. And therein lies some of our problem, right? What's unfair about that assessment? I mean, two things can be true. We can have great people who abide by the law and who want to build a great country. And we also can have people who cause the good name of the country to be tarnished. And as the good quote goes, and as is human nature, the good is oft interred with their bones. And some other quotes go on to say, basically, in a nutshell, people don't ever remember the good they do, but they sure gonna remember that one bad thing you do to them. Right? It's just a fact of life. So if I was the prime minister, I wouldn't have gone on to say that the country's reputation is being unfairly tarnished. I wouldn't say that this little black country, even though that's a bit of a tagline. When he says, I had the Minister of Foreign Affairs speak to the State Department to tell them what my views are on what they did, and they said it had nothing to do with our relationship. Maybe I need some context for that particular line. What they did, what did the State Department do? Someone help me out on that. I'm not going to allow this little country where I'm leading to be tarnished unfairly. So what the leader of the country should do is not allow the things that cause the reputation to be tarnished to happen. We got to work a little harder at that. And then we don't have to have these sentiments uttered in public. We got calls coming in. Let's take this call, yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Morning, good morning, hello.
Good morning.
It's amazing that we find ourselves here, I guess almost 40 to 50 years later, discussing the same position that the country was once in some decades ago. And here we are, in my opinion, supposedly a more educated people, a more mature population, who now have leaders telling us the dumb stuff that we hear coming out of the mouth of our prime minister. One about it being unfair. If anybody would remember, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month back, the prime minister stood on his soapbox and said that the guns coming into the country are coming from the United States. Fine. That was his report. No one said that it was unfair for him to blame the United States. The United States decided to get up and prove our corruption as it relates to the illicit drug trade and the trafficking of arms and the protection of drug traffickers, along with the selling of our intelligence information that it took years for operations like OPBAT and others to create. That those, beyond all of those things, are treasonous in my opinion. However, we now have a prime minister that says to us, based on his experience that I didn't know he had, based on his experience, as far as he is aware, everything what leaves from the South has to be known by the North. I don't know if the average Bahamian understands that language and if he understands who he is speaking to and what his track record may be or speak to as it relates to his experience. And I think it's us having a very delicate look at this whole conundrum right here in terms of when we choose leaders, what we will get from them. Mm-hmm. So obviously, his track record as a criminal attorney, based on his words and his experience, has caught up with him. And I think that he needs to do the honorable thing versus trying to pivot and find ways to create smoke and mirrors. He should do the honorable thing and lead by example and resign. Mm. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. I must admit the language in this story is very, very strange. I kind of don't understand what the Prime Minister was trying to get at in this story. Is he saying that the U.S. allows drugs to come to the country because they know about all of it? I don't know. I'm very confused by this story, to be honest. I think OPM would have done well to put out a statement after this one too. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, Chester. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Your last caller was right on point. It's funny that the Prime Minister is saying that he does not like what the U.S. did. And quite frankly, I'm happy they did what they did because it gave us a chance to see what's really going on. And unfortunately for this PM, they were not able to cover it up. And that's the one thing that I like. This was not covered up. Like the last caller said, the Prime Minister should do the honorable thing and resign, both he and the Minister of National Security, because it's a serious blemish when clearly the U.S. does not trust them. Clearly. I mean, if you listen to the speech that the former Commissioner of Police gave the other day, he said himself that he had just recently been in contact with the U.S. authorities. And if they had not informed him then clearly that was a sign that they did not even trust him. So, all of the smoke and mirrors that we were getting from the Prime Minister yesterday, it makes no sense. He should be an honorable man, if he even understands what that is, and just resign. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the call. And what, what is he saying that our relationship is protected? I mean, I don't think anybody, and like the caller said just now, I'm sure they don't trust certain officials and to give certain information to people. I don't think any Bahamians ever thought that our relationship was at risk. I mean, they got a brand spanking new embassy they just built. They ain't going nowhere. Our leaders passing through the House of Assembly, and they gonna be somebody new in the House at some point, and the Americans still gonna be here working with us, doing what they do. I don't think anybody ever thought the relationship was at risk. I could live in the same house as you and don't trust you forever. And we could have a perfect relationship. But certain things I just ain't gonna trust you with. It's just the nature of relationships, right? No one ever thought that the house was about to fall down. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Morning to the nation. First of all, I agree we should not make this political because it started in 2021 under the F&M administration. I believe in that. I believe the Prime Minister, he did the right thing. The commissioner resigned or stepped down, and the chief petty officer, all of them were discharged and this and that. I think he did the right thing. He doesn't need to resign. He did the right thing. That's like if you have kids and I have kids and the oldest child did something wrong. We shouldn't punish all the children, but punish the one who did the wrong. And the Prime Minister did just that. But I feel like the Prime Minister is also human too. And I think why he made those statements, because he's puzzled. He's like, okay, nation against nation. The Bahamas and the U.S. are supposed to be intertwined because we are a major consumer for the U.S. and we get our kickback through tourism, right? And so from the U.S. So I think he's saying why we don't have this close relationship. I don't think he's saying that the U.S. should confide in him to cover up the corruption, because every country, Chester, every country we know it has their own level of corruption. He's just saying he's making these major contacts and everybody is acting like they dumbfounded. Everyone acting like they don't know nothing. He called the people from the embassy, they ain't know nothing. He called the people from in the States, the people who are investigating the case. It doesn't affect our relationship. So he feels a level of disrespect. And if you were an issue and I were an issue, we feel that same way too. So, we just got to understand where the Prime Minister coming from, man. We ain't saying he's condoning corruption.
Of course not.
He's trying to cover it up.
Of course not. But what does it mean? What does it mean? You call the State Department and they said it has nothing to do with our relationship. Of course. Why would any right-thinking person think that the U.S. indicting Bahamians, who they have evidence against for importation of cocaine in the United States, have anything to do with the relationship?
Hey, Chester, my thing is, like I said, and I end on this. I feel like the Prime Minister did the right thing. Now, the only thing now the Bahamas waiting on is this there's high-ranking politicians. I don't know if the U.S. waiting on campaigning, then when they do an election campaign time to reveal that person. I hope that's not what they're doing. But so we could deal with the high-ranking politician too. They probably did his part. The commissioner's gone, the chief petty officer's gone, and all those other persons involved, they will be gone too. So give him props for that. That's leadership. All right, have a good day.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there? No? Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yes, Chester. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right, Alan Johnson. Well, it's an expression I want to tell the Prime Minister and the Progressive Liberal Party. When in a ditch, stop digging. You won't dig yourself out. And essentially, this is what the Prime Minister is saying. And let's take it as it said, right? For those who like to say this started in 2021, if you go to your website, you'll see where the former Prime Minister spoke on it. And he says, I knew. My people knew. I don't know why they ain't told them. The question then would be, if they communicated with the former administration and then they didn't speak to the Foreign Affairs, Minister of National Security, and the Prime Minister to let them know that they were operating, or the Commissioner of the Police or the Commander of the Defense Force, it'll be because they felt like the information would become compromised. You don't operate in a country for almost 3.5 years and not inform the individuals of that country if you had trust in them. So we have a broken trust in what has happened. The question then becomes and let's go back to the Prime Minister, what the former Prime Minister said. He says, he supports the Commission of Inquiry that's called for by the now leader of the Free National Movement, because then people will understand why he removed the previous officers that this administration reinstated. That's some powerful statement coming from the former Prime Minister with the intelligence and the information that happens there. Now, let's quickly ask yourself. Before this came up, not the Commissioner of the Police, not the National Security Minister, he said, I spoke to U.S. authorities and asked them, what is happening with all the drug increase going on? And saying, his awareness of it. No wonder police chief didn't know, anybody else didn't know anything else. We didn't see that the doubling of seizures in 1 year. I understand between 2017 and 2020, there's 2,400. They doubled in 2021. Something happened. It didn't happen right when it started. Mm-hmm. So this is where the Commission of Inquiry gets to answer these questions. And we get to ask ourselves, why? Why is it that for 4 decades, we had this cooperative environment with OBAT, where sharing information, sharing ships, sharing security, sharing tours, and everything else. And all of a sudden, it stops. It says that, for me, and I'm sure for any other right-thinking Bahamian, there's a matter of distrust between law enforcement from OBAT and the current law enforcement in place, or at least the hierarchy, because I'm not saying all policemen, all defense forces, all customs, all immigration, all whatever else, the department's correction, because they're all integrated, because each one of those aspects has some sort of failure in the point of contact. But I'm saying that clearly from the leadership, there has been some form of failure. And what leaders do is they accept responsibility for knowing or their failure to know. So the honorable thing to do is for us to have that Commission of Inquiry, and for the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, and associated people to be done. Remember, this is a customs issue too, Who is the Minister of Customs? The Prime Minister. So it's not just that. He owes it to do the honorable thing. That's what the word honorable is, Mm-hmm. Do the honorable thing and step down, accept responsibility for an endemic failure of our security apparatus. And it integrate, we go right to the Johnson thing, to this other thing with these so-called murders and different things and accusations. Bahamians aren't sure anymore. Yeah. We need a new set of leadership and a Commission of Inquiry so we could get the details of the failures we have and the defects we have so we can fix it. And then you say you cannot manage what you cannot measure, and you cannot measure what you refuse to acknowledge.
Yeah.
resignation place. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's try to get to some of the text messages before we have to go to our break. I see your calls, but 1 second. Brendan says, what is unfair? Are you selling drugs or murdering people? Is it unfair for them to have the name and not call it? Because I have seen people call virtually every MP name based on pure speculation. I'm not sure about it. Good morning. The PM called the wrong person. Tell him to call President Trump after August 20th, 2025. Good morning. Okay. Sent that message twice. Unfortunately, PM Davis did not deal with Bell or Cooper, one of whom clearly and obviously he almost certainly lost credibility in the eyes of many, including the U.S. agency who handed down the indictments, and in the eyes of many of my contemporaries. He can't be taken seriously because this is just one glaring example of him not showing true leadership and looking to expel corruption from this cabinet. I don't know if the corruption is in the cabinet. So, this person says the PM is all about covering up. I don't know about all that. Please, Mr. Davis, do us a favor and ring the bell because you're not serious about stomping out corruption. The PM is acting like a defense attorney instead of getting to the bottom of corruption. Okay. Good morning. The spin now is that it is the American cocaine bringing up Oliver North. They just need to man up and accept the consequences and try not to make enemies or start a battle that we as a nation cannot win. Let the chips fall where they may. This person says, Chester, I think Prime Minister Davis is trying his best to spin the situation or at least strong-arm it. He will soon realize that the U.S. is a superpower who cannot be intimidated and will not be swayed by charismatic politicians. Brave need to go. Okay? That's the U.S. job to catch the missed drug shipments that fell through the cracks. PM say they know everything from south to north. LOL. U.S. did know and made sure they locked info down before the bust. PLP caller just doesn't understand. It's not disrespect. It's a matter of trust. PM Davis refuses to put in place a Freedom of Information Act, which he promised. There is no penalties for MPs not disclosing their assets, but we wonder why corruption is rampant in the Bahamas and high-ranking officers are mixed up in drug and gun trafficking. Monroe has yet to be removed, but the PM wonders why the United States don't tell him anything. Makes you wonder. It comes down to one thing. Prime Minister Mitchell got the information and did not pass on to Manchurian Davis. After all these years, Mitchell will get to be Prime Minister when attorney and confidential informant Davis resigns. What? Chester, to that special previous caller, our PM is not puzzled about anything going on. He's well aware and a very bright man. Are you saying something in a sideways way? Good morning, Chester. I think most Bahamians would rather the PM in addressing this matter specifically for what I think is the first time say to the public is that he would use the full weight and power of his office to conduct a sweeping audit of our law enforcement agencies, and that he has already authorized an investigation into allegations of a member of our government being involved in illegal activity, but maybe his statements might lead the State Department to reveal on their own the name of the alleged criminal government official. I doubt it. This person said, the spin from these political war rooms are making the country dizzy. We have senior members of the National Guard implemented in drug and gun trafficking. What else may be out there? But yet we hear this started in 2021. That was 3.5 years ago. Are we to think this government is incompetent to not have intervened? Jokey leaders. Okay, the investigation probably started in 2021. I'm sure this stuff was going on much longer. It's not disrespect. It's not about disrespect, Mr. Davis. You're lost. It's just a matter of trust. Okay. Let's try to take at least one more call before we have to go to a break. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. Caller, you there? No, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning and pleasant day.
Pleasant day.
Yeah, our Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, and as the Prime Minister, he needs to Bernanke needs to. He is really speaking up for the Bahamas, as it were, even though it may not seem so pretty. What is happening really also is us, the Yemens, who, even in spite of the indictment, are still bent in being in the drug trade, because a couple of days after the indictment, there was a crash landing, and there were drugs again. So the selfish persons who are looking out for themselves to get their millions through drugs need to stop. And I want us to deal with all the matters. The grandfather who will molest his grandchild, the child who will wrongfully or rightfully, well, wrongfully actually, well, no, I can't even say wrongfully, because in that matter in the news, it was mentioned that there was a molestation of a child.
That was a very strange story.
And
very
they found
strange story.
out that the child was, even though it came back with a confession or a recanting of the statement, the child was damaged, so to speak. So I really can't understand what's going on. We need to all around. We need to know whether this gentleman, whoever he is, the grandfather who's molesting the child. I'm hoping that the child gets to 18 and expose him. So there's a lot of things that are going on that we also need to address. But last but not least, please. Unless you in law, you don't normally plead guilty, especially if you didn't commit the crime. And sometimes even when you commit the crime, when you plead guilty, you get buried faster. And therefore, you have to keep on holding out and defending and standing out. So I don't see in any way the Prime Minister will be resigning. And I don't think he should be resigning either.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, appreciate that, Carl. Thank you. We got to go to a break, but I would say if I was this government, I would literally stick to the line that we stomping out corruption. I wouldn't even mention the United States anymore. I'd stick to our own territory and be like, we trying to figure out what's going on. Every time you talk to me, we trying to figure out what's going on. We looking at everybody and everything. I don't know where this statement come from. Let's go to a break, and Morning Blend will continue on the other side.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
It's that time of year again, and Colombian Emeralds International wants to show our appreciation to you, our valuable customers, with our annual Customers Appreciation Day sale. 50% plus an additional 15% off on Friday, December the 13th and Saturday, December the 14th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at their Rawson Square and Port Lucaya Freeport locations. There'll be prizes and surprises every hour. So come and celebrate this holiday season with some sparkle and give the gift of memories that will last a lifetime with Colombian Emeralds.
It's time for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. And looking at Gladstone Road, first off, it is thick this morning. Don't know why it's so different from yesterday. But traffic is flowing in the east and westbound lanes of John F. Kennedy Drive, so maybe that has something to do with it. Samala Butler Highway, busy for you. Traffic backed up all the way past the roundabout with Fire Trail Road, and Fire Trail Road is very busy in the eastbound lane. And the westbound lane is also building up. Seems to be flowing a little bit, but not. Looking at the eastern road for you. Things starting to build up at Fox Hill Road. Traffic flowing a little bit as you approach it, heading west. And when you pass Fox Hill Road, it gets tight until you get to Village Road. If you are taking Carmichael Road to Blue Hill Road this morning, the traffic is already very heavy, backed up way past Southwest Plaza. You got traffic almost all the way down to BFM now. So you want to... Oh, nope, not yet. It's not that far. Where is this? Close to Sybil Strachan Primary School. That's where traffic is starting to pile up at the rear of that line, and going over the hill to Blue Hill Road towards Independence Drive and Tony Williams Darling Highway. The traffic is thick between Carmichael and the roundabout, so traffic heavy on East Street, northbound, going way down East Street. Past Calvary Deliverance Church, the line is backed up all the way to the highway. And traffic on Prince Charles, not as bad as yesterday or the day before, but it is starting to have pockets of traffic. So if you're taking that road, you want to get out early. I'm sure next hour will not be very pretty. Those are your hot spots, and that is your traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today and find the right loan for you. And now it's 7:51. It's time for your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. A small craft advisory will come into effect for the northern Bahamas tonight. Your general situation, a ridge of high pressure extending across the Bahamas, will produce stable and warm conditions over the majority of the archipelago, before a cold front brings some showers and deteriorating marine conditions into the northern and northwest Bahamas late tonight into early Thursday. Your outlook, a cold front is expected to move through the remainder of the Bahamas on Thursday, followed by strong winds and hazardous marine conditions from a building high-pressure ridge that will last through the weekend. There will be an elevated risk of rip currents, mainly along northern and eastern shorelines in the central and southeast Bahamas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy and warm, at first turning mostly cloudy and windy at night. A 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms at night. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, becoming west to northwest at 20 to 30 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds south-southeast to south-southwest at 10 to 15 knots at first, but becoming east to southeast at 10 knots or less. Your high temperature today, 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10% chance of showers. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, decreasing to 10 knots or less by early afternoon. Your high temperature, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. 10 to 20% chance of rain. Winds easterly at 15 to 25 knots at first, but decreasing to 10 to 15 knots by early afternoon. Your high temperature, 84 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 77 degrees. We'll have an extended outlook for you in the 8 o'clock hour. That's your weather check, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Get a deal on all 2024 electric vehicle models in stock at Easy Car Sales. Visit their online store at easy242.com for financing, discounts, and rebates while they last. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store, has the perfect gifts just for you. Now until December 24th, you can get 5 to 50% off everything in store, plus 20% off Christmas lights, 25% off artificial Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and all toys. Standard Services, just around the block with everything in stock. They have everything you need to keep everyone happy this Christmas season. Get the perfect gifts, plus 5 to 50% off everything at Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store. Open Sunday, December 22nd.
The holidays are here, and Dunkin' is spreading the cheer this season. Let Dunkin' be a part of your celebrations. Warm up with your favorite holiday drinks, grab a box of our famous donuts for your gatherings, or treat someone special to a Dunkin' gift certificate, the gift that always runs on joy. From our Dunkin' family to yours, we wish you a season filled with laughter, love, and a whole latte happiness. Happy holidays! And remember, the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Are you ready to make a lasting impact in healthcare? University of the Bahamas is now accepting applications for its brand new Master of Science in Nursing program. With specialized tracks in nursing education, nursing administration, public community health, and adult gerontology. Courses will be offered using a blended modality of online and face-to-face. Master advanced skills in patient care, dive into evidence-based practice, and become a leader in health policy. Get hands-on experience working with industry experts and tackling complex healthcare challenges, all with the confidence and compassion that nursing demands. The deadline to apply for the Master of Science in Nursing is January 17, 2025, but get an early start and apply today. Visit ub.edu.bs for the application form. Applications are now open for public community health and nursing education. Call 397-2601 or 397-2602 or email graduate@ub.edu.bs for more information. Classes begin on March 3rd, 2025.
Enjoy great savings this holiday on your favorite water, Aquapure. Now until December 31st, take advantage of Aquapure's Christmas coupon special. Purchase a book of 10 5-gallon coupons for just $37.50 plus VAT, regularly $42.50 plus VAT. And best of all, these coupons never expire. Be sure to take advantage of this great offer, Aquapure's Christmas coupon special, going on now. Call 394-7873 or order online at aquapure242.com.
The joy of giving comes with rewarding you with cash prizes from our regional pot of over US $100,000. Simply apply for a personal loan, auto loan, land loan, or mortgage from CIBC Caribbean. Once approved, you may be entered for a chance to be one of 3 lucky winners in your country. Each winner will pull a card with a surprise cash prize of US $1,500, US $2,500, or US $5,000 cash. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joy of giving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan, and let's try to get to some more of your text messages before we go to the news. This person says, the stifling democracy is an international embarrassment. A nation for sale, a paradise lost. Vesco, Anna Nicole, Nygaard, and more of the internet of the national embarrassment. A cabinet minister fronting for the mafia while in Pinling cabinet was international embarrassment. The FNM needs to remind them in case they forgot. Okay. This person says, talking about a Tribune story, a CD containing U.S. Coast Guard helicopter footage of 181 pounds of cocaine that was confiscated in Auckland in 2022 entered into evidence during a trial against former Police Staff Association Sonny Miller. Okay, let's see if I can find that story, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get back to this after the 8 o'clock news. The PM is giving me strong 80s vibes. He must think he talking to his party caucus. Mr. PM, many of our families have been killed due to drug trafficking. That's it's. I was thinking about this morning, and it kind of breaks my heart to think that we still have politicians who feel like we don't remember things, or that our history is buried somewhere where we can't find it. I mean, it's very accessible. We're reminded of it all the time. You can't kind of tell us that things aren't happening when we know they are, when we know they have. Someone used the term gaslighting in a whole article the other day, but that's really the definition of it, right? You can't tell me things aren't happening when I know they are. You can't tell me to look this way when I know I should be looking this way. It just doesn't work anymore. I mean, it works for some people. It don't work for most people anymore. Blind party supporters, maybe, but even they know the truth. They just turn their heads to it. So let's go to the news break, and Morning Blend will return on the other side.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Caribbean is giving 3 lucky clients the chance to win cash prizes this Christmas. Finance your vehicle with us for your chance to win, and we'll gift you no loan application fee, up to 100% financing, and up to 10 years to repay. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving and apply for vehicle financing now. Terms and conditions apply.
And now at 8:16, it is time for your final look at this morning's weather. A small craft advisory will come into effect for the northern Bahamas on Wednesday night. Your general situation, a ridge of high pressure extending across the Bahamas, will produce stable and warm conditions over the majority of the archipelago before a cold front brings some showers and deteriorating marine conditions into the northern and northwest Bahamas late tonight into early Thursday. A cold front is expected to move through the remainder of the Bahamas on Thursday, followed by strong winds and hazardous marine conditions from a building high-pressure ridge that will last through the weekend. There will be an elevated risk of rip currents, mainly along northern and eastern shorelines in the central and southeast Bahamas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy and warm at first, turning mostly cloudy and windy at night. A 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms at night, Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, becoming west to northwest at 20 to 30 knots. Your high temperature today, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds south-southeast to south-southwest at 10 to 15 knots at first, but becoming east to southeast at 10 knots or less. Your high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 70 degrees. For the central Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. A 10% chance of showers. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, decreasing to 10 knots or less by early afternoon. Your high temperature, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. For the southeast Bahamas, weather partly sunny and warm, partly cloudy at night. Precipitation, a 10 to 20% chance of rain. Winds easterly at 15 to 25 knots at first, but decreasing to 10 to 15 knots by early afternoon. Your high temperature, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. In your extended forecast for tomorrow, mostly cloudy to occasionally overcast across the northern and northwest Bahamas through the night, but partly cloudy elsewhere. A 30 to 40% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas and central Bahamas. 10 to 20% in the northern and southeast Bahamas. Winds north to northeast at 20 to 30 knots in the northern Bahamas. Variable at 10 knots or less early, turning north to northeast at 15 to 25 knots in the northwest Bahamas. Northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 knots later in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your high temperature, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 76 degrees. And for Friday, weather partly cloudy to cloudy in the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy in the central and southeast Bahamas. A 20 to 40% chance of scattered showers in the northern and northwest Bahamas. 10% in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds northeasterly at 15 to 25 knots and gusty at times for all areas. Your high temperature, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your final look at this morning's weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And we got another look at your traffic for you, brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. Traffic on Gladstone Road. You got pockets of moving traffic, but the traffic is still built up all the way back to Fire Trail Road. Samala Butler Highway, just as bad. Traffic built up past the roundabout with Fire Trail Road, with the eastbound lane of Fire Trail Road very thick for you. And traffic on Carmichael Road continuing to build up. Yep, continuing to build up now. It is pretty thick before you get to Blue Hill Road. It seems like Blue Hill Road is loosened up a little bit, but as you get to the hill there towards Tony William Darling Highway and Independence Drive, it gets pretty bad. The street still a little thick as you approach the roundabout with the highway, but it seems to be moving as you approach Soldier Road and moving a little bit as you get closer to the highway. Prince Charles is very bad now. Traffic starting to build up right after you pass Fox Hill Road, and you're going to have a slow commute if you're going all the way down by the mall. Over on Easton Road, traffic now backed up past Fox Hill Road, not quite to San Souci yet, but it starts to slow as you approach San Souci, and thereafter And as you pass Fox Hill Road, it's still pretty thick until you get to about Dix Point, and loosens up as you get to Village Road. But Shirley Street has some thick traffic, as I'm sure you're well aware, most mornings. The Saunders Beach roundabout, some traffic there. It's not as bad as yesterday, but the traffic is kind of, as you get around Go Slow Bend, you're going to slow down as you head east. And there is traffic on West Bay Street as you approach the Fish Fry area. Those are your hot spots, though. That's your traffic this morning, brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today and find the right loan for you.
Get ready for the Bimini Venture Pitch Competition. Taking place on Monday, December 16th, 2024 at Resorts World Bimini, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Venture Pitch Competition is an initiative launched by the Tourism Development Corporation to allow Bahamian entrepreneurs to pitch their ideas to judges for the chance to win cash prizes. Don't miss your chance to win. For more information, visit www.tdcbahamas.com.
End of the day, Lumpkin, the customers love the red suit. You think you could heist them pounds something a little more? We need to see more socks. But before you go, look at, I got some specials going on for the sale. I got 2 sets of 12 by 12 and 4 sets of 18 by 18 tiles. Now, the 12 by 12 Al Blanco is just that, Al Blanco. That and the peach and gray Alcala going for $2.15 a square foot. Now, I got 3 18 by 18 flagstone style and a high gloss gray and beige tile for $2.03 a square foot. But what you doing, Lumpkin? I'm looking for my pen. Sale ends December 21st.
Make your house a home. Stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and prices. Whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no wonder we give it you. We make it worthwhile. We make it quality, comfort, and style. Quality and style, yeah. Promise Furniture, no wonder we give it you. We make it worthwhile. Giving you quality, comfort, and style.
Transform your home for less at Kelly's House and Home's Holiday Paint Sale, Friday, November 1st through Tuesday, December 24th. Enjoy 25% off house and spray paints plus 20% off paint supplies, excluding net items. Our wide selection of paint colors is the perfect way to bring holiday cheer to your home. You'll also find the best selection of brushes, rollers, and pans, glue, bladders, paint thinner, and more. So catch the holiday spirit and paint up for Christmas at Kelly's House and Home's Holiday Paint Sale.
Ho, ho, ho! Get ready for Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. You can win a Cybertruck, a split of $50,000, and loads of more cash prizes via Spin the Wheel and the Cash Vault. It all goes down December 27th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the FML lawn. To earn a ticket to win, spend $20 between December 9th and 27th at participating Everybody Wins stores. The more tickets, the more chances to win. It's going to be live DJ, food, prizes, and surprises. It's the Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. Game responsibly.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
Here's the sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the tanner spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till the earth appeared and the soul felt His word. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for beyond the break a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night, when Christ was born, oh, night, holy night.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan. And we're switching gears now. We are talking pickleball. And we got two good folks in the studio with us from the Bahamas Pickleball Federation, Kellyanne Mead and Erica Knowles.
That's correct.
And so let's get right into it. I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what is pickleball?
Are you one of those people, Jester?
I'm one of those people.
Got it.
I think it's from what I've seen, a marriage between wiffle ball, badminton, and tennis.
Well, not wiffle, more little. Yeah, there is a marriage happening. It's
Ping
pong. Oh, okay.
It's a hybrid between tennis, badminton, and
tennis, badminton, and ping pong.
And ping pong.
If they had a polyamorous baby, yes.
To paint a picture.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. There
Excellent.
you go.
So, and I know it's a growing sport because I can't stop hearing about it.
It's the fastest growing sport in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the impetus for creating the federation.
Okay.
Which is to bring it to the community at large
Right.
as another sport in the Bahamas.
Yes.
We are dominated primarily by track and field and basketball, but
Mhm.
pickleball is a relatively inexpensive sport to set up and bring into schools. You can paint lines on on the pavement. You need a net, paddles, and balls.
Right.
You could play it on a tennis court surface.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
you don't have to get the net right away. You can just, put some chalk down or put some tape down and try it out. Or you could just come and visit us and try it out.
Yeah, you
Chester.
should.
Okay. So you have a spot already. The federation.
There are courts locally.
The courts. I know, and I know every time I see a new development, there's a pickleball court in there. So like you said, it's big. It's growing. So how big is it here?
It's growing very quickly. So there are courts. They've just put in 4 more courts at Atlantis, so they now have 6.
Oh.
Baha Mar just added another 4, so they have 6.
Wow.
Dix Point, they have 2 courts. Palm Key has 4 courts. Albany has 2 or 4 courts.
Mm-hmm.
It's really grown throughout the Bahamas and the Family Islands.
Yeah.
Harbor Island has so many courts.
Yeah, they play every day just about.
They play,
Yeah.
they do. And they do tournaments all the time at Tarpon Bay, like everywhere. Eleuthera, Spanish Wells. We have 9 associations under the Federation.
Okay.
And the Olympic designation, which is awesome, so that we can, it will end up in the Olympics.
Yeah. So how competitive is it now in terms of the sport?
Well, in the U.S., it's very competitive.
But for here, like we welcome all levels. So we have we think it's competitive.
Right.
I mean, it's not like we are pros, but we play competitively multiple times a week and definitely on Saturdays. There are your regulars, but also we welcome, it's an easy sport to learn, which is the pro of the sport. So anyone can pick it up. It's much easier than tennis to learn.
Right.
So we welcome newbies, and there's a lot of people, even though especially the tennis folks are resisting, but they're interested. Other folks too, but like come on down or get us, like I should say, like through our social media, Facebook or Instagram, and contact us and find out when to come on down, learn the sport. And there are people at all levels always coming aboard, like people coming that have tried it before, and so they're brand spanking new newbies. There are newbies, there are people that have been playing for like a few months, so there are like a couple levels above, and then there are people that have transitioned from other racket or paddle sports that are a little more competitive. So all ages, it's great for all ages, for the, the preteens, for the elderly even. That's a huge sport with the elderly.
That's the incredible part is that it really is a social sport, and it can be, you can play with a 7-year-old. And the grandfather or grandmother can play with the 7-year-old. It's really, it appeals to all ages.
Right.
No other sport can a 7-year-old and an 80-year-old be on a court. It'd be like pretty level. And like a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes. So
it's if people are thinking about, because you said it's easier to learn than tennis. What are kind of the basic rules to figure out how the line's different from a tennis court?
It's smaller.
Is
than
it less running around?
It fits within a tennis court.
It fits. Oh, okay.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say it's easier to learn.
The rules are a little tricky at the beginning, and the scoring is a little different. So that's like there's a learning curve there. But in terms of, it's easy to like first pick up a paddle and tap it over, and then step back and do that. The part is easy. The other part that's a little more complicated is there's this thing called the kitchen. Where you can't step in unless the ball bounces in by the net. Oh. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, and you have to step out of the kitchen because it gets hot in the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay.
So, it's the rule part is confusing.
Right.
But it's really addictive.
And fun, yes.
It's really fun, and it's very addictive.
Right. And the racket that you use, is it called a racket?
No,
paddle.
It's called a paddle. But
paddle.
That's okay.
And there's a sport called paddle. But anyway, let's not confuse things.
Yeah.
That looks like what?
It looks like almost a filled-in racquetball racket.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like there's no strings. It's just like a flat
surface.
Right. Okay. So tell us what the federation is doing, and I guess what your hope is for the sport. I'm sure you mentioned the Olympics. I'm sure we want to one day see the Bahamas on the grand stage.
Well, the mission of the Federation is to grow the sport throughout the Bahamas. And is to have the sport introduced so that kids have years to play to get to that level.
Right.
So it would be great to bring it into schools,
to
introduce it to schools, to communities, spread it a little more openly and widely.
Yeah.
Continue, Kelly.
It's growing, throughout Europe. I mean, it's growing everywhere, right? Yeah. And again, as I mentioned, it's a relatively inexpensive sport to set up and achieve that goal.
Right.
And we have a website, just to let you know, www.bahamasfederation.com.
Bahamas Pickleball Federation.
Federation, so that, we get the word out there. We offer coaching and lessons. So really, essentially, that is the mission, is to get it, grow it throughout the Bahamas and bring it to communities, and so that everyone has access.
Right.
Right now, the problem we face is that most of the courts are in gated communities. So that's tough, right? So we're looking to find a public space where we can
create a court there.
Yeah.
Is that the call now to corporate Bahamas to say, hey, help us out?
There you go. Hey, help us out.
Yeah, there you go.
Go fund us, essentially.
Yeah. We do have some sponsors. We're working on some sponsorship things now as we speak.
One of the nearer goals is, along with what Kelly's saying, and broadening it and bringing it to like the community at large. This Saturday, hop on our socials, Bahamas Pickleball or Bahamas Pickleball Federation on Facebook and Instagram, and contact us, see our flyer out there about having newbies come and try it out this Saturday at 10 over at Palm Key, but they're limited. There's limited availability, so you'd have to write us in first so that we can make note of who's coming for this first one, just to gauge the interest level before we head into the new year and figure out a plan going forward. But yeah, definitely welcoming.
And you could do that through the website at the info email.
Info at BahamasPickleball.com.
Yeah.
Email us.
Okay. And if somebody is thinking about getting into the sport, where do you kind of do your practices and playing?
Well, they would contact us through the website, through the info, and we would arrange for that.
Yeah. And what about tournaments? I guess into 2025. How are those looking? Are you planning tournaments?
Well, yeah. So one thing I wanted to mention is High Noon is one of our sponsors for the social. It's at Palm Key on Saturday.
Commonwealth Brewery.
Yeah, Commonwealth Brewery. So we just came back from Peru.
Okay.
We
for the Pickleball World Cup.
Pickleball World Cup. We competed against 32 countries.
Right.
We brought down 14 people, and
nice.
It was great exposure to find out the level of play.
Mm-hmm.
And Puerto Rico ended up winning the World Cup. It was competitive.
Yeah.
We thought we were really good, and it was like, whoa. So our next tournament coming up is in February, the 6th through the 9th in Cayman.
Okay.
And it's the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Pickleball Championships, inaugural.
Right. And local competitions, they happen all the time, I imagine?
We did one at Atlantis.
A couple weeks ago. They were going to become more frequent.
Yeah.
We're going to have an inter-island one. We have like East versus West in Nassau.
Okay.
We have different communities that we plan to have like tournaments through. And as the sport grows and as more people join the federation, there'll be more opportunities to expand like your competitive field and have more tournaments, because that's one of the goals as well, to have like consistent tournaments happening. So the opportunity exists now. They do occur now, but they will only grow. Yeah.
And tournaments aren't for everybody.
Okay.
So
you're not forced to.
Yeah, you're not forced to be in a tournament. That's totally whether you want to do that, take it to that next level. I mean, when we started, it was really just social.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you've got the
fantastic social activity sidebar.
Once you get the pickle bug, then it's just so much fun. Like I bring a speaker, play music, we sort of dance. The scoring, because you say the way you say the score, you can really have fun with it. Like 242, I need a drink, or 411, information, 911.
It helps with learning the scoring.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what is the plan? You want to expand it to the younger folk in the country and communities?
Absolutely.
Is the plan? Have you looked at spaces where you could put courts? I'm sure there are tons of defunct courts around, tennis courts around the island that maybe could be turned into a pickleball court.
Yeah, all that is underway. I mean, some people are resistant. They want to hold on to tennis a little tighter, even if there are courts that are pretty much like defunct or, weeds growing through them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can also pop into a community, which could be a plan for 2025, and step in a road that's not being used on that community and put down some chalk.
Okay.
And like put up, a little makeshift, you could go old school and do a little makeshift net. So we hope to do that. I think that is a plan for that to happen in 2025, just to spread it, to get it to people. So if people can't necessarily come to us as easily, we can go to them. We can go to the young. You can, like we said, you could bring out your grandma, you could bring out your mom, your aunt, your uncle, your brother, and just have people tap around and learn it. So we have to sort of spread that word and spread the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally go to Kendall Isaac Gym. They're rollout courts. So if we wanted to do a tournament inside, we could do 4 rollout
play it
courts.
or you could just play it on a basketball court.
Yeah. And just tape the lines.
Right. Okay.
It's mobile. Like it can.
Yeah.
You can really.
You can't do that with tennis. You can't pop that up on a basketball court. But
Yeah.
for pickleball, you can put like 2 there.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
So you said you're a baller. You're a sports guy.
Me?
Or you a climber?
I climb.
Okay. You can't do
and
that
jump
on
off things.
Yeah. That doesn't fully translate. But
Yeah, no.
still, yeah.
And I tried squash. And is it kind of like, is it running around and tired?
You know what? It's really up to you. So the way we play, yes.
Yeah.
But you don't have to play like that. There's a thing called dinking when everyone's just standing outside of the kitchen line.
near the net.
Near the net.
Right.
And you just...
It's like soft tap.
It's like soft tap.
Yeah.
So you don't have to play the way we play. That's what I was trying to communicate was that the competitive... If you want to be competitive, if you can go on YouTube and look up Anna Lee Waters and Ben Johns and see how they play.
Pickleball.
Pickleball, it is very competitive if you choose to play that way.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so great because a 7-year-old can play and an 80-year-old, as we said, and you don't have to hit really hard. You can just do this little dink game.
Right.
Exactly.
And
or it can get really fast, but there's smaller surface area to cover.
Right.
Which brings more people into being able to be sort of competitive.
Yeah.
Within the sport because of that.
And I see you can play doubles and singles.
Most of it is doubles play.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay. Yeah. Most
doubles,
of it.
same gender doubles as well as mixed doubles as well. So we play. It's much more fun to do like 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of it is doubles play. You can play singles. That's definitely a little more tiring, but
yeah,
you know, it
very
exists.
tiring.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
You gotta be under 40. I mean, some of the 50-year-olds do the singles, but it's far more challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doubles is more fun.
Yeah.
It is more fun. It keeps the game going longer.
I'm sure.
There's always like someone asking one more game. If you lose, you don't want to go out. You end up there. All of a sudden, it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
The wife's calling, the friend's calling. You missed this appointment, and you're so happy and sweaty.
I can't even imagine the pickleball smack talk.
There's lots of that.
There is lots of that. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Smack talk from a 12-year-old is much different from smack talk from a 65-year-old.
Yeah.
So in getting into pickleball, tell us how they can contact you and get started.
So either go to bahamaspickleball.com. That's our website. You can email us at info@bahamaspickleballfederation. Sorry, bahamaspickleballfederation.com. You can email us at info@bahamaspickleballfederation.com. You can find us on Instagram under Bahamas Pickleball. You can find us on Facebook at Bahamas Pickleball Federation or Bahamas Pickleball. So we're out there. You can find us.
Yeah.
Whichever you're,
easily.
Yeah. Any final words on anybody who's on the fence about pickleball?
Get in contact with us through any of those avenues and maybe come out and try it this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too early. Don't be scared. There'll be all sorts of levels, all sorts of different folks of different ages coming out. And it's really just like no pressure. Come try it out. We'll have extra paddles. We'll have balls. We'll have space, like I said, but let us know. And you're curious.
See if it's the sport for you.
You should come out.
I'll look into it.
Lead the charge.
I'll look into it. Excellent. Oh, Kellyanne Mead and Eric Knowles, thank you for talking to us about pickleball. And we're going to go to a break, and Morning Blend will be back on the other side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To love one another, and in His name, all oppression shall cease. Led by the light, our slave is our brother, and in His name, all oppression shall cease.
Your health just got brighter with Lamp Insured. Sign up for Doctors Hospital's Lamp Insurance Supplement Plan and enjoy copay waivers and complete access with only $30 per month. Visit doctorshosp.com/lamp to sign up or contact 242-822-1009. That's 242-822-1009. Your journey to affordable and worry-free healthcare begins now.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Hello?
Hello?
Pender, this me. Listen, I think that this Christmas, you should really get in the spirit of things. I mean, apart from the great prices, I think your customers would like to see more of you. So I think that you should greet your customers, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. I don't expect you to be there all day. Now listen. Now, you know red is the color of Christmas. So I think that you should be in a red tuxedo. You would be saying something. Your customers would really feel like Santa Claus reach.
You can wear that red suit this Christmas. Sale ends December 21st.
Are you dreaming of an EV? Now is the time. Easy Car Sales is offering unbelievable deals on 2024 models with end-of-year discounts. Plus, quick and simple in-house financing makes it easy for everyone to go electric. Take a test drive and experience an abundant life on Gladstone Road. Step into a smarter, more affordable drive with Easy Car Sales, your trusted EV and warranty provider since 2016.
The wait is over. That safe, guaranteed investment opportunity that you've been waiting for has finally arrived. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. And as of Thursday, November the 21st, all Bahamians, for as little as $100, can begin to save for their future. The investment rates are fixed and guaranteed with terms for 1 to 6 years, so you can't lose. Mark it down. Thursday, November the 21st. Get your Bahamas Government Savings Bonds. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for more details.
This holiday season, stay connected to the ones you love with Alive. Switch today and get 5 gigabytes of data free with your first 30-day plan. Whether you're sharing holiday moments or enjoying Jonkanuan Bay, Alive keeps you connected all season long. Visit BeAlive.com to make the switch today. It's good to be alive.
Elevate your Sundays with an extravagant and all-inclusive brunch featuring some of the best choirs in paradise. In favorites, unlimited mimosas and cocktails, and experience live, soulful entertainment. Gospel brunch at Cafe Martinique this Sunday at 11 a.m. at Atlantis. Visit tasteofatlantis.com to reserve your table today.
People making lists, buying special gifts, taking time to be kind to one and all. It's that time of year when good friends are dear, and you wish you could give more.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9 in Chester Robards. We are about to have a conversation with some good folks from the Sagicor Cave Hill School of Business and Management. And we're talking with Bridget Brathwaite, marketing coordinator for Cave Hill. Good morning, Bridget. Are you there?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you very well.
Great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Much love to you, man. I'm doing well as well.
Good. So let's get right into it. Tell us about the Sagicor Cave Hill School of Business and Management for those who have never heard of it.
So the Sagicor Cave Hill School of Business and Management, we are the business arm of the University of the West Indies Cave Hill here in sunny Barbados. So we specialize in pretty much the business programs for the school. Our purpose here is to create a community ecosystem of future-conscious Caribbean leaders who build sustainable businesses and organizations. So we specialize in a range of programs from undergraduate programs to executive education and professional development. But what I'm going to talk to you about today are our executive education and professional development programs.
Right. So yeah, what is that? What's the kind of purpose behind an executive education and professional development program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for basically our professional development programs are catered to professionals in any space. So this would be entrepreneurs, persons from the entry level straight up to the C-suite and executive level in the organizations. So the programs that we offer in this suite would be in different areas. So we have programs in risk management, we have programs AI related. We actually have an AI marketing and generative AI program coming up in January, but we have a number of AI programs. We have also things in terms of sustainability, just in very many areas that you may want to upskill. Our executive education suite, these are for the executives in the organization, so managers and higher, so the C-suite as well, presidents, vice presidents, directors, who want to be able to enhance their leadership and also find a space to be able to have an impactful contribution to their organization and stay ahead in terms of the challenges that the organization may be facing. And in our executive education suite, we also have our executive leadership programs as well, which are for the senior level executives. So these programs give them the opportunity to network with other powerful leaders within the region to be able to enhance their leadership, but also tackle challenges as well that may be experienced within the Caribbean.
So I see. So you connect these leaders together?
Yeah, so our goal here is to be able to have an environment. I mentioned before that we're trying to create this ecosystem of future conscious leaders. So we're basically trying to have an environment where we can foster future ready leaders across the Caribbean. So we have the programs in our executive leadership programs, but even if they aren't able to come personally, we have our leadership for executive programs, which is virtual, and it still allows them to connect virtually. And that's the same for our professional development and the other executive education programs as well. Depending on the programs that you're taking, it does have, some do have elements of group-based learning, so you are able to connect virtually with other persons in the programs.
I see. So I see here the school kind of can collaborate with companies to design programs to meet specific goals. How does that work?
Yes, so we do cater to the individuals in terms of upskilling, but the goal is to be able to foster that sustainability, that sustainable growth within organizations. So one thing we do that with is our PEAK program, which allows us to become a partner with the organization to talk about their objectives, their organizational goals, and we would work with them and their budgets to see how their training objectives can be met for the year. And we will design programs, whether it would be customized programs or whether we'll be tailoring our open enrollment programs, which are the programs that we already have available, to make sure that they get the best experience in terms of their training and they are able to develop their talents in the best way possible. And through our PEAK program too, this also is a cost-effective solution for the organization because they are able to capitalize on a year of training at the best possible cost for them.
A year of training.
Yes. So basically how they would be eligible for this program is that if they are able to send at least a minimum of 10 per in either in the open enrollment programs or customizable programs, then they would be able to capitalize on the PEAK program.
I got you. And at the end of this, what do people get?
Well, it depends on the program that they're taking. So, for example, if they're doing a professional development program that is catered, for example, if they're doing, say, a project management program, so like our advanced project management program, they have the opportunity to take an exam to get a PMI certification, which would allow them to be a certified project manager. Generally, our programs are for them to be able to enhance their skills and to be able to create that impact in their organization. So they may get a certificate of competence or completion, but then some of these programs allow them to go further in terms of getting certifications in the areas that they're studying for.
I got you. And I know you mentioned AI, so it seems that the School of Business is kind of looking toward the future and preparing preparing leaders for what's to come.
Future ready leadership, we're all about staying ahead of the curve. So one thing we do with our programs is that research is a very important element. We want to make sure that the content being provided is very relevant. And we also do that by working with global experts who would have had years of experience in their field, but might have also had some significant contributions in the field as well. And so once we're able to do that research, we make sure that that the content that is provided in the programs are applicable to real world experiences. So we don't only offer theoretical knowledge, but it's also practical applications as well through either group-based learning or case studies or even simulations that would allow them to be able to tackle these real world challenges head on.
Right. And I know you mentioned that, there are opportunities for virtual and in-person learning, but typically how long, if somebody was to come to Barbados, how long would they have to commit typically?
Well, yeah. So if generally it depends on the programs as well, but so for example, if an executive is doing one of our in-person programs, and not all of these programs are in Barbados, our executive program, our executive leadership programs, we have either in Barbados, but we have some in Miami as well. We have one coming up in Scotland that is in June. So they're generally over probably 3 to 5 days. But then we also have our Advanced Executive Leadership Program, which is a 2-week program. So these are the executive programs. But if you're looking at the professional development program, we do have programs that may span a couple of months as well, depending on the program.
Excellent. Wow, that's great. That's great news. And so talk to us about how people would get enrolled in this, and then what maybe how much something like this would cost. And
yeah, sure. So we have our calendar of programs on our website. So you can visit our website, cavehill.uwi.edu/schsbm. Or if you wanted to know more about the application process, you wanted to be able to talk to our program team to know more about how you can upskill, the benefits of the programs, then you can also contact us directly. 246-424-7731, or send us an email at chsb@cavehill.uwi.edu. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here.
You're good.
Yes. So, you can definitely you can contact our team. Our team is always very ready to assist with any queries that you may have, because at the end of the day, we are looking for the individuals and the organizational's interests 100%.
Yeah. And I see here there's some nice rates for groups and individuals, but there's some stipulations about January 31st, 2025. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So we are offering you the opportunity to become a better you, because at the end of the day, your growth, your organizational growth is very important to us. So we are offering a 15% reduced rate to individuals who enroll and pay at least one installment by January 31st, 2025. Or if you're going to register as a group of 3 or more, or a corporate group of 3 or more, you can get 20% reduced rate. But this is applicable to all of our 2025 executive education and professional development programs. So any program that you're interested in, you can definitely give us a call, or you can even register directly on the site. Once you have a program that you're interested in, you can go on the website, and I'll say that again, it's cavehill.uwi.edu/schsbm, and then you will be able to benefit from the 15% or the 20% once you pay at least one.
Excellent. And some, as you mentioned, some of the particular programs happen in different places. So like Miami, you mentioned Scotland. There's a particular program that happens in those places. And that's all spelled out on the website, I imagine.
Yes. So most of our programs are online once they're open enrollment programs. So that means that you can take them from any location. But if you are interested in our executive leadership programs, then we would have them in different locations. So for example, our Leadership for Executives program, that is virtual, so that can be taken from any location. But we have our Women in Leadership program coming up, and that one has been receiving a lot of demand. That one is in Miami, and so that is for all powerful female executives who want to find a space to be able to connect with other women leaders across the region. That's going to be at Miami. And then we also have our Leading from Purpose program, which is all about enhancing your purpose, all about finding your purpose and being able to translate your purpose to impact. That one will be here at the Sagicor Cave Hill School of Business. And we have many more, and you'll find all of those on our website.
Very good, very good. I love this women focused. Could you just give us a little bit more on that? What can women expect if they come to something like that?
Yeah, for sure. So the theme for this year is finding your leadership advantage, and we normally have leadership as lead hership because we want you to be able to showcase, this gives the opportunity for powerful women across the region to be able to talk about the challenges that they may have experienced as women in leadership, but then also it will give the opportunity to directly interact with some very powerful women leaders that we have as our facilitators for this program and be able to learn from them, in terms of their own experiences, but to strategies that they can implement to enhance their own leadership as well and showcase their leadership advantage. And then they'll be able to connect, as I mentioned before, with other women leaders throughout the region and even some globally to be able to tackle challenges that may be experienced in the Caribbean. And it's all about breaking that glass ceiling and being able to showcase the powerful leadership as a woman in the region and even globally.
Yeah, excellent. That's great. And I imagine some of the in-person have enrollment caps. So is there something that you got to get, do it now, hurry?
Yes. Yes. As I said, some of our programs, such as like the Women in Leadership program, very high demand. So definitely you would want to register as soon as possible. And then what I will say is that whereas we don't generally have previous qualification for our programs, with our executive leadership programs and the executive education programs, obviously we would expect that you would have some experience within the leadership aspect because it is for executives. But for our executive leadership program specifically, what we would do is that you will send us a CV so that we can make sure that, you are eligible to be a part of this program because, as I said, it is for senior leaders within throughout the Caribbean. So this is a space for them to network and to be able to learn from each other and share their own experiences.
Excellent. That is good news. I hope a lot of Bahamians are listening and on the website now, filling out their information to see how they can be a part of this. Bridget Brathwaite, just one more time, give us all the information on how people can find these programs and get more information if they need.
Yes, sure. So you can visit our website, cavehill.uwi.edu/schsbm. You can send us an email, chsb@cavehill.uwi.edu, or you can give us a call directly, 246-424-7731. And any of our program advisors or program coordinators, anyone from our program team will be happy to assist and walk you through the process.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Bridget, for that information. And I look forward to hearing from you again about what else you have going on in Cave Hill.
Oh, thank you for having me as well. And I'm definitely looking forward to being on again.
Excellent. We're going to go to a break. That's Morning Blend for you. Morning Blend Business is up next. Stick with us.
Even the man who has everything would be so happy if you would bring, give a love. find a way to show your friends that words can say. Why don't you give a love on Christmas Day? The man on the street, the couple upstairs, want you to know there's someone who cares. Give a love on Christmas.
Hey, Santa here. I'm thinking of getting a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas.
Hi, Santa. Sounds perfect. With a Scotia Plan loan, you can use it to cover personal bills, renovate the North Pole, or even fund a little vacation with Mrs. Claus.
A vacation after Christmas sounds perfect. What kind of benefits are there?
We have competitive rates, plus you won't have to make any payments for up to 2 months.
Sounds like a plan. Sign me up. Myself, the elves, and Mrs. Claus can't wait to get started.
At Scotiabank, we have a plan loan for everyone. Sign up for your plan loan today.
Get ready for the Bimini Venture Pitch Competition. Taking place on Monday, December 16th, 2024 at Resorts World Bimini, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is an initiative launched by the Tourism Development Corporation to allow Bahamian entrepreneurs to pitch their ideas to judges for the chance to win cash prizes. Don't miss your chance to win. For more information, visit www.tdcbahamas.com.
Busy mornings demand a hearty breakfast, so start your mornings off the best way with Wendy's new breakfast wrap. Enjoy this savory wrap that's packed with fresh cracked eggs, breakfast potatoes, and a melty cheese sauce, with a choice of savory sausage or crispy bacon, all wrapped in a warm, soft tortilla. Wendy's always serves breakfast the right way.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, still filling in for Dwight Strachan, who's on vacation, and this is unusual. Dwight's missing Wind Down Wednesday. I mean, our friends of Bristol are here.
Yeah, Dwight's missing our friends here. Good morning. Yes, we are indeed. It is interesting. It's usually you, but it's usually business or.
Yeah,
daddy duty.
I thought he might have showed up to co-host. To be honest,
he would come on, but nevertheless, Dwight's not here. But
we're gonna have fun without him.
Yeah, the bottles must pop. It's the holiday season,
and there's nothing like having Bristol on the holiday season because y'all brought friends, and new stuff.
Yeah, new friends and new stuff.
New friends and new stuff.
So we just wanted to take a little snapshot and a walk down memory lane about some good things we did wine-wise this year.
Absolutely.
I think Tori and I have, some of our favorites that we'd like to pop and taste and encourage the general public to pick up and have as a part of their offering during the holiday season. And then more exciting, we have a brand manager on board with Bahamas Botanicals and 2 new products right in time for the holiday season. So we, of course, lively, liquid to lips, live on air, get your feedback, and then encourage some people to stop in our stores and sample up and buy up and make some fantastic cocktails for the holiday season.
So these 2 lovely bottles on the table are from Bahamas Botanicals.
They are indeed.
Fresh out of
the
production line. I mean, they look
out of the barrel.
excellent.
Today is Wednesday, probably labeled Friday.
What?
Yeah, so fresh.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Aren't we lucky over here?
And our Christmas sale.
Yeah, and you know.
Let me not jump the gun.
Don't jump the gun. Okay. So tell us, start us at the beginning. Where are we starting with? So we had favorites throughout the year.
Yeah, we had some favorites. We spent 10 months traveling. We started off in France and Italy. We tasted some stuff from Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
We did some stuff from South Africa. We made a quick stop into Chile and Argentina. We spent 2 weeks tasting some wines from California. And then we had some shipments of some wine that came in late in the year. So we did a What's New in the Cellar that had us take a stop in Austria.
Oh, yes.
And through that, we've found some wines that kind of hit. Some styles of wine that people like. And we also realized that some of our $35 bottle drinkers are now our $50 bottle drinkers. And so, you know, we just wanted to thank folks who travel the world with us.
Yeah.
Whether it was at Premier Crew, whether it was at the cruise port. Those who, you know, consistently ask us as to what's next. You know, even Tori, you know, just coming back after a few weeks off, asks, you know, okay, this year we did around the world. What are we going to do next year? Right, and so that the wheels are already turning, you know, maybe January may be our only month off, and then we're back to some themed tastings starting in February, probably around grape varieties.
Yeah.
So we get an understanding and appreciation. You know, so when we look at the Pinot Noir, we would look at a French Pinot Noir, California Pinot Noir, something from South America, something from the next side, maybe Australia or South Africa, and just get a comparison and an understanding, just a little bit of a deeper look.
Yeah.
I think over the last 2 years, we spent a lot of time forming a good foundation. You know, whether it's on the educational side of those who just come for tastings on a monthly basis, I think we really expanded that foundation, and now it's us just diving a little deeper. You know, it's interesting. I just did a dinner for Zonta Club on Saturday for 200 people, and it's always my most challenging dinner because how do you keep, you know, attention for 200 people?
Yeah.
You usually lose about 30 to 40 of them instantly. But mind the noise, don't mind the chatter. Like, we're dialed in. We're tuned in. And I'm like, wow.
Excellent.
Wow. And so we just, you know, we appreciate what we have seen over the last few years. This year, we became a little bit more intentional with it.
Yeah.
And it showed up. You know, even today, we wanted to bring 1 or 2 wines that's not in our market just as a treat to taste. And it's like, no, we have too much listeners now. We'll be pretty upset that we're tasting on wine, something that's not available inside the market. And because we've, you know, formed that foundation, and now we can see the results of it.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to, you know, we're really grateful for the folks who travel around the world with us and tasted some wines, and we've been able to thank some of them in some more personal ways, and others we've invited to something fantastic that we're going to have in the gardens on Friday that I'll let Zena and Tori talk a little bit about.
Yeah, I see. There's 3 things on the calendar left for the year, and is there 3 weeks left in the year?
Yeah. Tonight
tell us.
Tonight we're soft. Tonight.
All right. So tonight we have Wine Down Wednesday, which is going to be this Wednesday as well as next Wednesday at the cruise port.
Right,
so that's a wine event that we're more supporting the cruise port with this port. But we're going to still have a nice selection of Bristol wines, and you could go there, have a good time, drink some wine, relax, hang with friends, you know, and a good start to the holiday season.
It's complimentary, right? So you just show up. You can sample some of the wines that we would have introduced into the wine program at the Gallery Wine Bar.
Incredible.
And you can purchase them at discounted prices. And we'll be there.
Dorsey, don't miss us.
We'll be there.
I know Sano will be giving some live entertainment for a few hours as
the
well.
Neely?
Yes, sir. So it should be a good hump day kind of spot this evening.
Wind down.
Absolutely.
Especially in this season.
And what else we got going on?
Friday. And then Friday, we have the Art of Wine tasting that's going to be at Premier Cruise. So this is going to be a little bit bigger than all of the tastings we've had this year because you get a chance to taste over 27 wines.
Wow.
We have 4 tables. So when you first start, you come to a sparkling wine and champagne table. And we actually have a couple champagnes on the table, including Baron de Rothschild Blanc de Blanc. Then you move to the rosé table. And on that table, we have some of our newest rosés. We have Rosaline, Hampton Water that's already proving to be and a couple more rosés that we have new to our market, as well as some of our old favorites from Whispering Angel, for example.
All these but goodies.
Yeah, all these were goodies,
Yeah.
things that people love. And then you move to the Old World table. So that table has wines from France, Italy, Spain, just the old expression of wine production. And then we move to the New World table. And that has one thing that everybody loves and always asks when we have tastings. Y'all have any Camus? Y'all have any Camus? Camus is going to be on the New World table at our tasting this Friday. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, we encourage you to send me an email, zwilliams@bristol.bs. We'll also have tickets available in all of our stores, so East Bay, Gladstone, and Blake Road, and Premier Crew, or now it's known as Cruise Bristol. And so you can purchase your ticket. It's $65 a person and includes, like I say, over 27 wines, bites from Versailles, that's now our on-premise food partner. We're going to have live entertainment, DJ, artists. We also going to have like booths where you could purchase Christmas gifts. And if you buy any wine that's available at the tasting, you get a 20% discount. And we'll have like girls there wrapping the gifts if you want to buy wine as gifts.
And the giveaway on air today.
Oh, actually, yeah.
ticket,
So
yep.
we giving something away today.
We're gonna
So you all stand by.
A pair of tickets, yeah.
The thing
What?
about it is, I think what Zena just said
Is
is
Friday a holiday?
it is
It's a wine holiday.
It's a wine holiday for sure at Bristol's. But I mean, you think about it, right? We travel the world, 6 wines every month at $65.
Right.
Here we are with 27 wines for $65.
Yeah.
It's a steal of a
You
deal.
cannot beat it.
Right? And good quality wines. The wine team, colleague Griselle, Tori, and Carolyn sat down and toyed as to which wines over the course of 3 to 4 weeks. So, like Zena said, new wines, fan favorites, wines that maybe kind of isn't understood and just needs to be placed on some palettes.
Yeah.
And so we're looking to get about 150 to 250 of our preferred palettes inside the gardens on Friday, just to taste up some wine, to make sure that, you know, your Christmas is well looked after on the libation side of things. And we're going to open that up by putting liquids on your palate this weekend.
I can't imagine you'll have a problem with that.
No.
I mean,
it's going to be a good one. 3 hours, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
You know, the team is all excited and ready to go. We'll do our little briefing on Friday morning. We'll do our walk through the wine. So just come and be prepared to have a professional level experience when it comes to wine tasting in the gardens.
And that's really the key word, right? I think what Bristol and Bahamas Botanicals has been able to do is create experiences that feel just so comfortable.
Absolutely.
And so friendly.
So the thing about it is we call it the art of wine tasting.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you how you can taste 27 wines and still stand up strong. Be able to dance the night away and drive home safely.
Excellent.
That's what we're going to do.
Excellent. And you mentioned everybody's favorite word, sale, Tori. You said it at some point.
So after the art of wine tasting, you've tasted 27 wines. You know exactly what to purchase the following Monday at the sale.
The following Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the tasting is
You ain't gotta wait.
Friday.
No, you don't gotta wait.
No, the tasting is Friday, and while you can experience 20% off Friday and Saturday on all the wines available at the tasting, then Monday our Christmas sale starts, and during our Christmas sale, we'll have wines and spirits on sale. So you get a chance to purchase all of your favorites from the tasting, as well as all of your favorite spirits to have your Christmas bar stocked out.
That's amazing. And today is an amazing day because y'all got Zena talking out.
I listen
A
to
lot
me,
today.
right? No, but I think 2 months ago we let it be known, right? We started off with the warehouse sale,
right,
and that moved into our online sale. We took a week off this week, and now we move into our retail sale next week. And then after that, we move into our sparkling and champagne sale to end there. So we made sure we made things available for you this holiday season.
Yeah.
No excuses. Do not show up at the Christmas dinner saying, "Oh my gosh, I
Swinging
forgot."
hand?
No.
No.
Because Bristol's, we won't forgive you. we won't forgive you.
I won't forgive you. Come to my dinner at your hand swinging.
So
No.
So
yeah, what we got in front of us now?
we're just going to let Jermaine jump in. We'll do the official introduction on the second half, but we're bringing a second a new palette onto the table. But Chardonnays is going to be the whites between Chardonnays and Sauvignon Blancs, the whites of choice this holiday season in terms of availability or ability to sit on the side of seafood, fleshy fish, as well as some meat. So this is a Meursault from Burgundy, France. Of course, our house from Burgundy is Louis Latour. And this is a 2020 vintage, so 100% Chardonnay, but it would have seen some oak interaction.
No, go ahead.
So it would have seen some oak interaction. And but very Louis Latour stylist, right? So medium toast. About 50% of the wine would have seen oak. When I say oak interaction, would have been barrel aged.
Yeah.
Native yeast would have been what we use to inoc this to start the fermentation process, and a little bit of aging. But we like the French style because it brings a little bit of balance, right? You'll get some fruit character, you'll get some wood, you get some acid, but nothing really outperforms the next kind of thing.
I don't think we've had a Louis Latour that you brought here that missed. To be honest,
I don't think so. Even on the Pinot Noir side, I think even the entry Pierre de Rey was pretty good.
Yeah.
St. George, Louis St. George was pretty good as well.
That's really good.
Pasta.
Yeah, there you go. Some cream-based stuff. So this would have seen some malolactic fermentation as well. And when we talk about moving out some of the green apples and say lactic kind of sensation, but again, not over the top.
Yeah.
You can probably pick up all of those elements, but nothing really outperforms the next.
I get the tang, but it doesn't grab me all the way in the back.
Right. It isn't a Pinot Grigio or a sparkling that kind of ties you up on the side kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
But of course, we would elevate what it is that we're thinking during the holiday season. And Meursault, I think, will run us into about $60 a bottle.
This one?
Yeah, this right there.
Okay.
So very decent. Meursault.
And I think it's worth it.
Yeah, good Chardonnay. And it's good house. Chardonnay. And, you show up with a bottle of Louis Vuitton on holiday, you mean business.
When people know.
When people know, you mean business. Outside of that, we also have a fantastic red that's literally just been in the market for 2 weeks now. And hopefully Tori can keep it in inventory.
Definitely.
But I'm certain
Has it been difficult?
Not yet.
Not because of suppliers
or
anything. The whole talk situation.
Yeah.
That held us back. But we good now.
Yeah, when the ports decided to strike, that delayed the shipment of this, and now it's here. And hopefully there's no more delay of any other shipment to come, so we can just keep it in the market.
Yeah.
But like we mentioned last month when you were in here, Chester, folks have been asking for this before we brought it into the market.
Oh.
We've introduced it to a couple of places, accounts, and activations, events, and it's a hit. And so we just want to taste it again on air, and I think so we can get some more feedback on Josh. So this is Josh's Hearth. Joseph Carr is the name of the gentleman who owns it.
And Josh is a brand favorite.
Absolutely. And they let you know that it's crafted for an everyday consumption.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be palate friendly. But this is absolutely delicious.
Now, somebody's some information again. When and where is the wine tasting?
The wine tasting is this Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. at Crew at Bristol. A lot of people ask, where is Crew? Where's Crew? It's Gladstone Road across from Fusion. So you just come there. Like I said, you could go to any Bristol store today, purchase your ticket, or send me an email and get an online payment link. And then you can come and taste with us. Over 27 wines.
I still can't believe that. $65. And
seeing is believing.
Yeah.
So Friday, 2 days away.
Yeah. Come and see us.
I came to one before, and I don't remember. I think it was the
it was last year, Duck-On. So this is exact.
Yeah.
So if you've been to the Duck-On soiree,
that was amazing.
If you've been to the Duck-On soiree, just imagine that's just one house, one brand. Now we have the whole entire wine division playing.
Duck-On soiree was last year?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I know. It felt like 2 years ago, right? Yeah, that was last March.
Wow.
Last March. Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's going to be kind of set up
Just
in that
similar,
way.
yeah. So you come through, you walk your stations. Oh, I didn't even bring a booklet. I had a booklet, and I wanted to show you. Zena and Grisel already have the booklets, the tasting booklets, the scoring cards and everything. We're at table 10, so you know which table you're at, which wines are available at this table. And then we just do a briefing with the staff on Friday morning. We're really excited. We're ready to go. Again, it's that elevated tasting experience.
Right. And that's 7 to 10
on
10. Friday.
That's 7 to 10 is for that experience. Yeah. I anticipate we'll be in the yard a little bit longer.
A little earlier.
Yeah. A little earlier and a little later.
Yeah. But that's all day for
I know how y'all go. I know how y'all go.
We'll be there with a bottle from early.
Good stuff.
All right, so we just want to put in glass before we switch over to Bahamas Botanicals. Josh's Hearth, Sauvignon, but it's still a blend. Of course, we appreciate from California that at 75% of any single varietal in the wine, we can call it that. But when we're looking to get a particular outcome in the end, it's good when we start to understand and appreciate what a Merlot, a Zinfandel, and a Petit Verdot would bring to a blend.
Right.
And so all of those show up inside this, but 76% of it is Cabernet Sauvignon.
76%.
Yeah.
The nose is delightful. It almost smells like Christmas.
Yeah, like it's a spice or something.
Yeah, there's a spiciness to it. I'm sure it's something Zena enjoys, the Christmassy.
I actually really do.
Christmassy.
And I'm not usually a red person, but it has like a jamminess to it that I really enjoy on the palate.
Yeah. So
allspice, I think, kind of pops up in the nose.
So two things, right? When we talk about what's in the blend and does it add to a wine, Zinfandel brings us the jammy fruit characteristics and a spice component. So all of those things that we're picking up, we expect to pick up, knowing what's inside the blend.
Right.
Smooth.
I'm just gonna say it's silky smooth on the palate. You can feel the tannin structure, but it doesn't wake up the palate.
Yeah.
Fantastic on its own. I think it's still big enough and heavy enough to sit on the side of some good meats.
I mean, it just exudes Christmas though.
Yeah. I mean, even the look of the bottle.
Yeah. Not just the name.
I mean, we don't have fireplaces, or our fireplaces aren't real, but this looks like this belong on the side.
I have a nice fake fireplace.
But this in 2 glasses, 3 glasses, I think is good. Cleaning up on Saturday, getting ready for the holidays. Christmas Eve, when you're doing the last minute cooking. Sunday, when you don't want to offend anybody on which bottle you bring to the Christmas dinner table. I think Josh's Hearth is a good tool.
And at the price point.
Right. What is that price point?
22 retail. So
16.
you could.
So you could bring 2.
Yeah. You call Tori, he can give you a discount, probably about $16, $17.
Yeah.
You get 6 bottles. You keep 2 at home and carry the rest. Because we usually go somewhere for dinner and then we go and stop at 2 other houses before we end up. Junkanoo starts at 9, so we have to compile what it is that we're doing on Christmas Day. So Christmas dinner, 2 stops, 2 bottles of Josh Earth, make sure that everybody's good, and then you head out to Junkanoo.
But you say buy more, so you could carry it to the house, 1 for the table and 1 for under the tree.
There you go.
Because a gift and
drink
and
savor.
Christmas is in the middle of the week, so you want to make sure you're good heading into that weekend, because that weekend before New Year's is pretty going to be pretty busy as well. So just
absolutely.
Our holidays for we have Christmas, New Year's, then the 10th.
So
it's like a boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Right.
So make sure you're fixed for the 3 holidays.
Yeah. Just want to go back to the sale right quick. Do people have to come in for it? Is it like an online thing again?
No, so this one is completely retail. So you can visit literally any Bristol. So that's Freeport. That's Harbor Island.
And Governor's Harbor.
And you can visit all of our retail stores and enjoy those sale prices.
Wow. That's excellent. Good stuff. All right. So we want to jump into...
Yeah.
We're going to introduce Jermaine.
Yeah. I'm going to let Zena take it over. I'll jump back in.
Well, Zena's taking over the whole show already.
Right? And I don't want to just throw Jermaine into the fire as well, but I'm sure he's prepared for it. But I'll let Zena do an introduction, and then we'll prepare to taste some of his products.
All right.
So if you've been listening, when we come on Wednesdays throughout the year, we actually stop by with Bahamas Botanicals before. And usually I've been the one speaking when we talk about Bahamas Botanicals, because I've been heavily involved with the project. However, we now actually have a brand manager that's responsible for Bahamas Botanical, and he'll be also working with Jab. And So I don't know if he's going to be saying that much today, but we have Jermaine Cox here. So he's just joining us as we sample the 2 new products and getting familiar with joining us as we're out on the road talking about what we are actually making at this boutique facility.
Yeah.
So we have 2 new products, like I say today, tasting on air. One is the Sapadilla rum.
Say what now?
Sapadilla rum.
We were working.
You all were working. Sapadilla rum. And all of the stuff is sourced locally?
Yeah, Naughty Luther. Yes.
Okay.
So we work with partners, whether it's from agriculture or some of our other partners that we know do farming, whether it's Nassau or the other islands. So everything that we make at Bahamas Botanicals, the main ingredient is always sourced locally because we want to say that from the farm to the bottle to your glass, it's been 100% Bahamian. So we have our, like I say, the Sapadilla rum, and we also have the pineapple brandy.
Pineapple brandy.
Same distiller.
Andy Fowler is our master distiller.
Good
so
old,
the same distiller from when you had the Cascarilla Amaro.
Right.
But now we have, products that people are a little bit more familiar with, more fruit-based spirits. The Cascarilla was for the palate that's used to things that are a little bit more bitter, even though our product, I feel, is definitely more sweet because you have the allspice, the cinnamon, the cardamom, the citrus. But now these are for, people who like it a little bit more sweet, so the fruit-based spirits.
Is Bahamas Botanical open to can people come there? And I gotta ask.
All right,
because,
so
I've experienced it, and I feel like people need to experience it. To be honest,
currently
not yet.
Okay. But we are hoping to be open to the 5. It may be probably the 2nd or 3rd quarter, not necessarily the first, but we are moving to having it available for the public. I think right now too, if you want to have a private event there, you actually can.
You can. Oh.
Yeah. So, but it's going to be more on a referral basis for the private event. So you just send me an email again, Z Williams. Let me know what type of event
I'm not going to tell people where it is now.
Yeah, no.
I think there's a lot of moving parts, and as those diminish, then the other elements that we know
free and open to the public.
will come into play.
I have to say, I'm very critical of some of the things that we do around this country because I don't think we put our best foot forward. Like we just kind of half it and go into it. But Bristol and Bahamas Botanicals has, I think, done it. You know what I'm saying? Like made everything just right to do what you're doing here.
Yeah, and even Z and I, we always have conversations about what it is that we're tasting and whose palate does it fit for. But when you understand and appreciate the work and the story and the back end, then there's a different, like who is having conversations with UB about of these indigenous products that we're using.
Right.
We are to take it to that. And it started off with the jab line, which was, we just want you to have an understanding and appreciation as to the raw ingredient into the spirits. We would drink vodka like it's nobody's business, but nobody could tell you what was in a vodka.
Right.
Right. We would drink, something wine-based, cognac. And, and we always like to have the conversations, especially from the wine side. But we had no appreciation that came from a wine grape called Uni Blanc, and we had to make wine first before we could distill it to get cognac.
Yeah.
And so that's what the jab line was for. Now the Bahamas Botanicals is here to show you, hey, we have some botanicals inside this country that has some medicinal benefits, but we also tie it into the industry that we are in.
Right.
So we're not changing anything. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're just taking advantage of what's available to us and turning it into what I think is some fantastic products. I think once we could appreciate what the product is, then we know how to use it.
Absolutely.
And so of course, just the first thing first is we got to put it on the lips.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the
This is the pineapple brandy. Everybody knows
pineapple brandy.
Eleuthera is famous for pineapples, and so that is something we definitely wanted to use in one of our products.
It's
Do you know the scientific name for pineapple?
There's a scientific name for pineapple.
Like how the scientific name for
absolutely.
Strombus for conch?
No, for
grapes.
It smells like a Werther's original candy that my grandma used to give me.
Oh yeah, it's given Werther's.
Yeah.
Scientific name.
Oh my goodness.
pineapple is Anumus communosus.
I hope you're pronouncing that right.
I hope so too.
This is very good.
So, right? And so we call this the VS. And so when we see VS, VSOP, XO, we're
Right, what
talking
is
about
that?
aging, right?
Okay.
So this is a year and a half.
Yeah, this has been of age about a year.
Okay.
But we have some
Some more
more
that's
still even aging further. So we're going to have different,
So that'll be a VSOP.
VSOP.
Just based on aging requirements, right? So what we have here is crushed Bahamian pineapples. Let's be a little bit more specific. Naughty Luthra.
Okay.
I don't call no name, but very famous farmer, lady so-and-so.
She famous.
Right? So we steep it in a natural alcohol. All right. We rest the portion in charred barrels. We distill the other portion in copper stills. We rest the distillate in separate charred oak barrels, and then we blend the maturated and the aged distillate, and that's what we get as the end product.
So-
34% alcohol.
So part of what's been soaked in alcohol is in a barrel, and
Part of it has been distilled. And then we blend those two together. And this is what we end up with. And so just
This
based on so when we think about, other brandies or cognacs and their aging, VS is the entry level or the not so aged, but versatile enough that you could play with some cocktails with it. Right? So we're going to taste the next
I
one.
was going to say,
we can come back to this.
this is unlike any that I've ever
Yeah.
tasted. Obviously.
Pineapple.
I mean, yeah.
And it isn't pineapple influenced.
But-
it's real pineapple.
But if you
influenced.
had it, I don't know if you would go back to
some other stuff. Right.
Not to call any names.
Not to call names.
But that's
that's the idea.
I'm sure on Jermaine's next trip he'll tell you that's what we want. We want
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
buy into this brand and be loyal to it and
Absolutely.
tell the story. It's
I
easier
could
for
see
somebody
this
else
in
to
a
tell the
cocktail.
story. Oh, for
I could see
sure.
this in a cocktail.
So we're gonna try this with it, right? We came up with some fantastic drink.
Is Jermaine a
strategies.
mixologist too? Is that what?
We can find out all the Jermaine's little skills. But
we about to rope him in.
if he isn't, he's coming into a team of
absolutely
that's well stocked, and so he will.
I hope you know what you're in for.
But we'll try this with a lemonade afterwards,
okay.
and just to see. Right, it's the same thing. We came up with some fantastic drink strategies for the
Yeah.
Amaro,
Yeah, we have.
and it was hit and misses based on certain palates.
Right.
But lemonade is an everyday drink.
Yeah.
We don't want to change the profile of lemonade, but you just want to add something to the Amaro.
Right.
Just an ounce of Amaro in a lemonade just changes the profile, and you're just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so we carried that to a UB party, and it was just like,
We got
what?
fantastic feedback.
Carried it to a UB party?
Yeah, the Amaro with
and
the lemonade.
Yeah.
Because, before we used to do.
When you say
like-
UB party, you mean like young people?
No,
Oh.
it was a
UB
UB alumni.
Oh, alumni. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a lot of people actually really enjoyed. We had the Amaro booth in the VIP section,
Yeah.
but as the night went on, like most people you'd see around the party with a glass of Amaro and lemonade in their hand.
This pineapple
Even-
brandy is very special.
Even some folks who came and they swore that they hated that product. And
Yeah.
they don't like the drink strategy behind it. And then it's
yeah.
like, watch him.
Mm.
He's going to come back. He's going to come back again.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's coming back 2 more times. So said, so done. 4 stops at the bar for Amaro and lemonade for a drink or a spirit that he so despised of. But once we understand, appreciate, right place, right
Yep.
mix, right
Yep.
price, right person, everything's good.
You got it. Wow. So y'all really ain't gonna let Jermaine talk.
I mean, Jamaica, he could introduce the next one that Kyle is currently opening.
So, I mean, Jermaine, kind of explain what it is that you're going to be doing.
And a little bit of your background.
Yeah.
Well, Jermaine here. I am extremely excited to be a part of this new venture. I feel we can do great things with it. Believe it or not, I am not a brandy connoisseur, but with the pineapple brandy, I think it's amazing. Like, I'm not a vodka drinker, but I can swear by the pineapple brandy, chilled on the rocks.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Chill, a little chill on this. I could, yeah.
And now we're presently opening our Sapodilla rum. Also, another item that I feel like can be enjoyed on the rocks or with a particular chaser or beverage. And you can't go wrong.
I'm excited about. I mean, I don't think besides eating sapodilla off the tree, I don't know if anybody
does
anything with it.
I don't want to say No, but I don't know.
I mean, Erin coming on next.
I know
might talk to us about that.
Because the last time we talked about sea grape, she had that sea grape thing, and that was just off the chains. But yeah, she probably know what people are really doing with sapodilla.
She can talk to us bad when she walk in.
They said off the rock, on the rocks.
On the rocks, eh?
They said
but yeah, again from Naughty Luthor, the sapodilla. Yeah.
So is
small
it-
production just based on what was available to us. And so again, just as we think of the other categories of spirits and wine, is what's available to you on a yearly basis,
Right.
production wise, good years versus other years. Just
But nobody has a sapodilla plantation in North Eleuthera. This is kind of people,
I think
people picking, providing.
I think it's more
they had
availability
a
of
couple
untouched
suppliers, and they got what they could, and saw, like you said, what was the best. Did different batches, different tasting, and that's how we came up with what you have in the bottle here.
But I think this is going to create a demand for the production or the growth.
But
of
this is also
sapodilla.
what makes it extra special.
For Bahamas Botanical, we want to encourage agriculture throughout the Bahamas because as we create these products, there will create a demand for more growers.
Yeah.
And that will help them they can make some money because we will need more people growing sapodilla. We'll need more people growing pineapples. We'll need more people growing
with them
cascarilla.
being assured of the use of their product.
Mhm. Right.
There's no worried of wastage or a bad year where I couldn't sell this. No, we need the product. And I'm certain people are listening now saying, well, I get 25 sapodilla trees. I need to send Bristol a message. Maybe
Send
you
us
do.
one.
Well, if you have 25 sapodilla trees in your yard, you got anything else in your yard? You can't fit nothing else. All right. So yeah, let's do this sapodilla. What is it? Sapodilla rum.
Yes, this one is rum based.
Okay. And
stuff on the floor.
is this going to be on the shelf?
This is on the shelf currently. You can find it so far. I'm pretty sure it's in all of our Nassau stores and should also be in our Family Island stores during the holiday season.
Okay.
We're going to actually have some in-store tastings coming up in our Nassau stores later this week. So, yeah, you can visit any of our stores and purchase the leader. So far, it's in all sizes.
I was just going to ask.
So far, the leader is in all stores. We're waiting just on some label shipments to finish the other sizes. Like people know, we have the 375 and the 50 mLs. They should be definitely by the end of the year.
So this is crushed North Eleuthera sapodilla, steeped in unaged rum. It's distilled in a copper still. A little bit of oak influence. We add some cinnamon root that's steeped in natural cinnamon. Some allspice leaf, right? Steeped in natural spirits. And we end up with this fantastic, even from the color, beverage in this glass, 35% alcohol.
35%. Not too bad. And again, this is perfectly outfitted for the season we're in.
Yep. Definitely.
On the rocks. A cinnamon stick.
Yeah.
Let's go to town.
You could even mix in some eggnog. I think that'd be a fantastic drink this
Zena!
season.
Oh, you put it right. Yeah. That's it right there.
That's a killer right there.
Yeah, she's too quiet sometimes, but when she on point, she's on
that
point.
Santine eggnog.
And that.
This, hey, stop in the Bristol's and grab yourself a bottle of Santine eggnog and a bottle of this
I'm not just here trying to sell you anything, right? They trying to sell you something. I ain't trying to sell you. This is really good. Kudos to Bahamas Botanicals for the work they're doing to expose what Bahamian agriculture could produce, because this is good stuff. Okay, there was a call coming in. I guess we're not going to take that. Text us.
Please,
I don't know if we can take a call.
This is our last.
We're talking
in the studio for the last time for the year.
Last time for the year. Our friends.
We want to leave a bottle of wine or something for Chester to give away. We have some tickets for Friday. Yeah, text us. Let us know that you've been listening to us all year. You popped in at one of our tastings.
How are we going to give this thing away?
You missed us all year and you don't want to miss us no more. Let's figure out how we going to give away these 2 tickets. Tell you how we can give away these 2 tickets.
You're going to ask them what the scientific name
for pineapple.
If you could tell us 3 regions that we stopped to on our Around the World wine tour this year, you will get 2 tickets to taste 27 wines on Friday.
There you go. Just 3 stops.
Just 3 stops. And we made many, and he actually mentioned at least 5 of them today on air.
Call
so if
us.
you could name 3,
Call us.
Text us. 323-6232. 325-431-6, 325-4259 if you're in the family islands. I don't know if you can wait, but
I mean,
call us
I know
anyway.
somebody
Text
in
us.
Nassau that you want to gift the tickets to.
That's true. Right. That's true. So you can text us. What 3 wine regions that around
visited
around the world tour start that this year. So that's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now gonna put this to the test with.
We're gonna go back to the pineapple and the lemonade.
Pineapple and lemonade.
Pineapple.
While we wait on someone to call in to win these tickets.
People wasn't waiting, and they won these tickets because 2 lines lit up already.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. You're live.
Yeah.
You got an answer for us?
South America, Italy, and France.
Well, we'll take that. Yeah.
You take that?
Yeah, because I did say South America, but we did split it up. It was Chile and Argentina, Italy and France. We'll take that.
Okay, we'll take it. I mean, you won, so stay on the line.
Stay on the line, give your information, and what you can do is come to Crew at Bristol and pick up your 2 tickets anytime between today and Friday.
So don't come to the Guardian.
No.
Just we'll grab his information.
Yeah, but leave your information and you can come and visit us at Crew and pick up your tickets.
Man, some text came in just as he won a text. I'm sorry, texters, y'all were 2 seconds too late because he didn't even wait for me to say
ready.
Welcome.
Oh,
he was ready. If you're calling in, I apologize. Somebody won already.
So let's do this. Send Zena an email and say, Zena, I was listening to the radio. And we'll figure out what we can do for you. It can't be a complimentary ticket, but it won't be the $65. Right. We'll give you a discount.
So nice.
Send Zena an email and say, Zena, I was listening to you on the radio this morning.
Bristol.bs and say, hey, we were listening and we will give you a discount on your tickets.
So those 2 texts, I sure y'all listening. Email Zena.
Just send me an email, say, hey, I heard you this morning, and we'll work it out.
Yeah, this is that one tasting that I don't want to wake up the following day to text message saying, "Oh my gosh, I missed it." I don't want to wake up to those messages.
Okay, good. This person says, "I rate y'all for taking the caller, though. Will the Bahamian Botanicals be at the function?"
Jermaine.
Now you just put Bahamas Botanicals on the spot. We're gonna figure out how they show up at the function now.
Yeah, Bahamas Botanicals.
I will
at least a little table.
Speak to Andy and Terrell and see if we can include ourselves.
So
at that event, yes.
What we would probably do is a reception hour. I'm speaking for Jermaine.
Yeah, I mean, to make it easy, I mean, we probably do a reception hour. So if you come in the first hour of the wine tasting,
open your
palate with one of these. We'll have a little tasting cups, and you can sample what we have in the store. And I'll actually also say,
accommodating folks.
Yeah.
We try to
That's
be.
what we do. What is going to be available, complimentary and for purchase.
So
food is going to be there, cheese and charcuterie. So responsible consumption is the name of the game. Number one, but number two is the art of tasting all of these things and enjoying yourself. And if you ask for Bahamas Botanicals to be present, then we will go and knock on Bahamas Botanicals' door and see. Ain't nothing we can do. We can't ignore what the customers ask for.
You heard it here, Texter. You asked for it, and they said they will deliver. Wow, amazing. So a lot of people. This person's still trying to call in. Probably not. So yeah, we're doing this.
Yep.
So lemonade.
Sorry?
Yeah, we're doing this lemonade. Let's see what this lemonade is saying with this pineapple.
Okay, hold on.
Brandy. So I'm not a brandy drinker. Never have been.
No.
Again.
But you enjoy cognac.
This,
They're in the same category. Yes.
Some.
Okay, fair enough.
But I've not had one that would make me go out and buy a bottle for my house. You know what I'm saying? And for my friends.
Cocktail itself or just brandy?
Just brandy or a cocktail, to be honest. But this stuff right here is worth having a drink over.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Even if this is a gentleman's night conversation.
Yeah.
You know, or even if this is a family conversation with the bride, you know, after a tough week or a tough conversation about finances, this is the perfect cocktail. This is it's been a rough week, but it wasn't a bad week. It was just rough.
Yeah.
A nice drink just to, get the week behind you. This is that. This is also that, okay, tomorrow's Monday. Make sure I have a good week. Let's finish off Sunday with something of this sort.
Tori is the mixer here.
We Tori wear multiple hats around town.
Yeah. Jermaine, you didn't get the background, I don't think. Where you coming from?
So I well, my mom's family is from Eleuthera, so I for my grandfather who actually
What part
had
of
a farm.
Eleuthera? I think that matters.
Lower Borg Eleuthera,
Which
is
north.
There you go.
There you go.
So the Neelys and the Johnsons,
There you go.
we got those guys. Those are my people.
Mhm.
And I've been in sales for roughly about 15 years. Dabbled in jewelry, and now I am on the retail side of things with Bristol.
Good.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna in the last minute or so, we're gonna taste this mixture of lemonade and our pineapple brandy.
So that's a sweet and tangy
Yeah.
situation.
Gumbo punch in the cup.
No. This is something more special from my childhood. This is a hard candy that was just a starburst. This is a starburst. Not to give a brand something, but this tastes like a starburst. Like the yellow. You have to give the color, right?
Yeah.
It is yellow.
The yellow starburst. You guys have found something special.
I was telling someone that it's no lemon lime Gatorade or grape Gatorade.
That is really good.
It's purple or yellow.
even the decorations falling off the wall in here. What is happening?
That's
nice.
That's very good.
And see, the thing about it is lemonade is an everyday
Who made this
drink.
lemonade?
Me.
Tori did. That's
Man,
important.
you gotta get Tori to make the lemonade.
Freshly
The
squeezed
lemonade
lime,
gotta be-
right? No,
okay,
lemon.
exactly, yeah.
No, that's important. The lemon mix. At
You have
Bristol's is
fresh
gonna be
squeezed
lemons or limes.
Wow.
But lemonade is an everyday drink. So you
can't
add,
go wrong with lemonade.
You add this pineapple brandy to your cabinet now, and now you have an everyday elevated lemonade. And this is just everyday. This isn't us putting this into a strategic cocktail strategy. Right. This is just your everyday mixer, which is a lemonade.
I think Jermaine likes it.
But when we think of flavors that show up in our atmosphere, in things that we drink, when we look at a Gumbo punch, it's a lemonade and a pineapple flavor.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Yes.
this isn't far off from that. So that
it isn't.
That means the palate would be receptive to this.
Better.
This of course it's elevated. It's very there's complexity into this simple lemonade and brandy mix.
I have to be honest, you have something very special with that drink there. And congratulations to Bombs Botanicals. Best of luck, Jermaine, as you move into selling this to the world. I'm sure it's not going to be that difficult.
And this is a good pitch. The first.
Yeah.
Nobody paired it with
Yeah.
anything yet so far except us.
Yeah,
Live,
absolutely.
on air.
And I have an unbiased opinion. I hope. And I think that everything they brought today extremely amazing. But not that we've ever been disappointed by what Bristol has brought us in studio. So again, remind us of the three events that
quick
we
wrap
have.
up.
Yep.
You could join us tonight or next Wednesday at the Cruise Port for Wine Down Wednesday. This Friday, we have the Art of Wine tasting at Crew at Bristol, Gladstone Road. And then our retail sale starts next week, Monday, December 16th at all Bristol locations. And our champagne sale is also going to be at all Bristol. It's the end of the year, December 27th to 31st.
Remind them of your emails,
My email, if you want to get tickets for the wine tasting, zwilliams@bristol.bs. If maybe you grow some stuff and want to get in contact with Bombs Botanical, also zwilliams@bristol.bs. And if you have some suggestions of what you want to taste next year at our wine tastings, send me an email also, zwilliams@bristol.bs.
We just
so accommodating.
I know, right? We're just going to take this opportunity on behalf of our president, Juan Bacardi, our director, Eric, our senior vice presidents, and our vice presidents, management, and the entire Bristol team to thank The Guardian Radio for this opportunity again, the entire year, for us to soberly speak about spirits and wine, and to thank the general public for following along with us on this road.
Yes.
For their support, for patronizing us, And we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy and a prosperous New Year. And we hope to see you between now and the New Year. And if we don't, we will reconnect as soon as the third Wednesday of January in 2025.
That is excellent. That's our show for today, Morning Blend Business. Please. And On the Clock with Aaron Green is up next. She ran us out of the studio. Have a great day, everybody.
Look away, down to the way.
Kiddies have the toys. Let the grown-ups make the noise. Give the neighbors all the presents under the tree. Leave the snow and mistletoe to the ones who love them so. But you be quite enough for me.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express, or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
You try to rest, roll with the babies, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Make your house a home, stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and prices, whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no one better. We give it you, we make it worthwhile. We make it quality, comfort and style. Quality inside, yeah. Promise Furniture, no one better. What we giving you, we make it worthwhile. Giving you quality, comfort and style. Promise Furniture.
Ho, ho, ho! Get ready for Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. You can win a Cybertruck, a split of $50,000, and loads of more cash prizes via Spin the Wheel and the Cash Vault. It all goes down December 27th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the FML lawn. To earn a ticket to win, spend $20 between December 9th and 27th at participating Everybody Wins stores. The more tickets, the more chances to win. It's going to be live DJ, food, prizes, and surprises. It's the Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. Game responsibly.
This Christmas, Fidelity Bank is still the one. One easy monthly payment, the only one with a quick approval, and one chance to win an extra $5,000 in cash. Apply for a personal loan today for your chance to win big. Call 356-7764 for more details and make that move to Fidelity Bank today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Junkanoo and Jingle Bell, as hundreds of Santas, will participate in Junkanoo Jingle to Bay 5K, the Christmas run for a good cause, Saturday, December 14th at 6 a.m. at Arawak Key. Form a team and register your pups to walk, run, roll, and rush to the Junkanoo Bee. Thanks to our sponsors, Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, Guardian Radio, Nassau Agency Limited, Healthwise, Alpha Sounds, Duncan, Electronic Media, BWA, Thompson Trading, and Caribbean Bottling Company. JJ to Bay 5K, Saturday, December 14th. Register today at fourseasonsracemanagement.com.
Hey, Santa here. I'm thinking of getting a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas. Christmas.
Hi, Santa. Sounds perfect. With a Scotia Plan loan, you can use it to cover personal bills, renovate the North Pole, or even fund a little vacation with Mrs. Claus.
A vacation after Christmas sounds perfect. What kind of benefits are there?
We have competitive rates, plus you won't have to make any payments for up to 2 months.
Sounds like a plan. Sign me up. Myself, the elves, and Mrs. Claus can't wait to get started.
At Scotiabank, we have a plan loan for everyone.